Okay, guys, so we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, what am I going to be? Your friendly rogue trader? No, not really. I would say watch captain. I like that one from Death Watch, but I don't know. I guess I'll be your friendly, I don't know, watch captain for today. Because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Fantasy Flight Games' outstanding Rogue Trader for Warhammer 40K RPG. And with me tonight are the stars of our Rogue Trader campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight? First up, we've got Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Quinili Aquare, the scion of the Aquare family.
Very nice. You know, if you do well, you know what they'll build for you?
A tomb?
A giant macro statue?
I think a macro statue might get built for you. So, next up is Jeffrey.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Alessander. He is the ship's Void Master and Master Helmsman.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least is our resident member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I'm playing Godwin. He is the ship's Seneschal and Master of Whispers.
Very nice. So guys, last session you had returned to Footfall, and we saw your... we saw interaction. Let me actually bring us over to the old macro statue. Yeah, I've actually labeled the page macro statue, where we had a host of servants of the House Aquare. What do you guys recall happening last time? Because there was, you as the players were wearing a number of different hats and in some cases masks. I've got some visual aids. Oh, god dang it, I just remembered I forgot to load some images.
Well, weren't we playing out what the other, I don't want to call them factions, but
agents
of the Aquare family were doing while we were still in the warp?
Oh, the last couple months or 2 months or whatever it was, we were doing these trying to affect the world there.
Yes.
Yeah.
The downtime rolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You guys had taken steps to try and sabotage House Fell. You had made new allies among rival... Actually, give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to quickly load.
We achieved getting the lay of the land of Footfall itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made allies with another rogue trader, and we made 90% progress on thwarting the vile Fell.
Okay.
A Kroot Merc group offered their services.
Yeah. They had heard.
And we had a scene between us and the new rogue trader ally on her ship.
Yeah, and that's who I was thinking. I was doing a lot more cutting and pasting of
Madame Charlebel.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Because she also had befriended that Xenos race that
the
Kroots.
The Kroots. That's right.
She is the sole hope of House Armelon.
Correct. Okay. And what I was wanting to load here, guys, is, let me hit refresh, and I'll give you a handout. Look
Archon,
at this.
Yeah.
Go.
You want more Archon?
Shannabelle. Armelon. Here you go, guys. And this is what Madame Charlebel looks like.
Mm-hmm. Straight out of an 80s rock video.
She has, sorry?
Her hair is like straight out of an 80s rock video.
Oh, totally.
Like a white snake. Whitesnake music video.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll put her back under handouts. And Diok was the leader of the Kroots. Do you remember why he was particularly drawn to the House of Quare? I mean, beyond the obvious, of course.
They were the sworn enemies of the other Xenos that we fought. The
Tyranids.
The Tyranids.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know their alien name. Yeah, the Tyranids.
They were a rival consumer.
Yeah, the Kroot are like
Ballistic.
consumers. Is that what you call them? They're
That is a polite way of saying they'll eat the flesh of sentience. So,
okay. Yes. Yeah, they definitely are interesting.
mm-hmm.
And especially as an ally to bring on our ship.
Although they also can get it's forced mutation as well too by consuming things. Remember, they can alter their own physiology. So I can't remember which of you had told us that, but one of you guys had made a successful forbidden
I might have
board.
rolled that. Yeah, that's right.
So you knew that like the Kroot hounds are an offshoot of a species that consume the wrong thing. The Kroot wings are likewise a thing that consume the wrong thing. And there's I want to say Krootox is the like giant, Ogren-sized things. Likewise, they consume something they should not have, and it changed them in perpetuity.
And if you eat a lot of Caesar salad, you become a crouton.
Crouton. I thought that.
Exactly.
I thought about. I didn't say it, Dave. I thought it didn't say it.
So good.
All right. And you guys, I think we did not get an answer, or do you remember if we did? I rewatched the end of the last session, and I don't remember. I remember you leaving, meeting with Madame Charlebel, but you had not made a decision, I think, on the Kroot as of yet. And there was something else you learned right at the end of the session. It was something that I think Godwin picked up on. It had to do with one of the last sort of innocuous questions that Lord Captain, Aquare, asked of Madame Charlebel.
Madame Charlebel is no fan of Jerry. Is that maybe what you were?
That's definitely something important to know, but not what I was thinking of, though.
Okay.
I do remember that. Yes.
Yep.
She warned us off that.
I think I wrote it in the chat there. Why are they sticking around Footfall? Why haven't they gone out and done anything to earn additional credit or?
Yeah, because do you remember, or does that prompt your memory as to what innocuous thing that the Lord Captain had asked? What he'd asked is so you're going to be here for a while? And she answered him quickly, and he didn't tweak to it, but you had tweaked on the fact that, like, she did for a split second give that look of, like, what do you fucking, like, of course I'm going to fucking be here. You don't know what reason that would be, but she gave a very briefest of looks that you noticed that the Lord Captain did not, to suggest, like, well, of course I'm going to be here, so there's some reason she's going to be here, and there's some reason that she was surprised he did not know.
Right.
And you guys had not yet had a chance to discuss that or to debrief about that observation. So I think we're picking up with you guys leaving aboard one of your shuttles, the House of Quare shuttle. And Alessandra, you are the pilot. So let's do this. Would you give us let me take a look here. I think. I'm going to be disappointed here.
Pilot craft?
No, there is.
Flyers?
Do you have a lore check with respect to piloting?
No.
Okay, then give us.
I have just Xenos lore. Oh, wait. No, I don't think so.
Give us an awareness check, please. And this will be at plus 20.
Oh, wait, do we preset them? Can't remember now.
Yeah, you have to preset on these sheets now. at the top on the right, I believe. Actually, I'm guessing. I don't remember. There you go, Regis. I'll take a look at his sheet.
Why do I feel like I don't see it?
Skills.
I know that might be Imperial Maledictum sheets.
Oh, maybe this one does. Oh, yeah, this one does still prompt.
It still does prompt? Okay. So I don't know why I thought it didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. It was the other sheet. I think.
Yeah.
Imperial Maledictum does that.
No, it's because in the weapons you can pick no aim.
That's why.
Oh,
And
it's
then when you
just the
put fire-
weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weapons have all the drop.
Got it. Just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
weapons.
Okay. Yeah. And I think we were talking about how they did do that in Imperium Maledictum. So, then, so here's what you notice, Alessandro. I think Captain Aquare and his, not house guard or whatever you want to call them, and Godwin are in the back as they are debriefing about what had happened. You are heading back. Where do you think you're going? Are you going back to Footfall itself, to the House Aquare holdings, or are you outside the atrium, or are you heading back to the Mortis Probati?
What do you think, Captain? Back to the ship.
Well, I think we should go someplace for a chat. Yeah, I guess the ship.
Okay. So what you pick up
for a little privacy.
Yeah. It's been weeks since someone's tried to kill you aboard the ship, so I think you're fine now. Safe as houses, as they never say in the 40K universe. I'm just double checking something here. All right, what you notice, Alessander, is as you're making your way along, they are not actively tracking you, but it appears that the one of the batteries that is part of the main like where the Void Dock Alpha Row is located, one of the batteries is not actively tracking you, like they've got a lock on you, but there is a passive tracking that at least some of the gunners are doing on you.
From Madame Cherubel's ship?
No, from Void Dock Alpha Row. From sort of one of the bulk, the largest floating, chunks in Footfall.
Ooh. Captain.
Yeah, like this would be this if they did lock and they did fire, like let's get out some dice and roll up some new characters. That's the kind of thing that vaporizes ships your size.
Right.
And you do not notice them doing this before. This is not standard protocol of like watching everybody.
But now after meeting with her, it's
It could have been there before. I think
but I didn't spot it. Yeah.
You may have not spotted it before, but now you are mindful of it.
Yeah. Captain.
Yeah.
They've got their guns on us. The port.
Have we been on this chunk before, Kevin?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no reason to think. And again, like they're not. The stages would be like they would try and lock on you properly, and then they would fire. These are guns designed to fire against the, and drive off ships the size of the larger ones, not the smaller ones. This is just passive tracking with a, it's using a cannon to try and take out a fly.
Right. I don't know if they're just trying to keep an eye on us or if it's a mild threat, sir, but
it's most definitely not standard protocol, and certainly not, again, like cannon to a fly, setting aside the difficulty of hitting you. Why on earth would you ever deploy such a thing against such a thing? If it malfunctioned and fired, like that would be very bad for all of you. But
do we think that they think that we'd see this? Is it an obvious thing, or is it not so obvious a thing?
It's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to miss.
So it could be for intimidation. You know, if they didn't think we'd notice, you would think it would not be for intimidation. But if they think we'd notice, then maybe, you know, pure intimidation on a cannon, you know, keeping an eye on us kind of thing.
Anyone have any lore of Footfall or lore of Coronis Expanse?
I do have Cronus Expanse.
I have Cronus.
Yeah, why don't you guys each give us a lore Coronis Expanse check at plus 20 to 0. Please.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Okay. So, Captain, you both are aware of this. So the because there's not really a there is a liege who's in Footfall, but there's not really a government here. The liege is someone who serves at the pleasure of whoever, you know, whatever rogue captains, rogue traders happen to be in Footfall at the time. Almost anything that is in service to the liege is stuff that has been seconded to them, or he's contracted with people, and that includes the defenses. There's a variety of different groups that have controlled the defenses in Footfall at different times. And what you know with 4 degrees of success, Captain, is for whatever reason you had asked about this, and the group that currently controls the batteries is something that calls itself the Administratum Economica Imperialis. And I'll put that in chat for you, because it is a faction. Imperialis. If someone in the AOE was interested, AOI, forgive me, was interested in getting your attention, this would be a pretty blatant way to do that if they knew that you were on board.
Maybe it's an attempt to reach out, Captain.
Oh, you're muted, Sean. So, Timo? Timo!
How far away would we say it is?
I mean, it's difficult to talk about. Like, they could hit you at miles, you know, away. So you could try and
walked over there, but it's a different chunk that we're on, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's a different chunk. Right now, you're heading back towards the ship, and it's tracking along as you're heading. You're going to be back in your ship in minutes, right? Like.
Gotcha.
This is not a space station around a any Imperial planet. This is absolute fucking Wild West stuff here. One of the reasons you may be bringing Alessander regularly on board, setting aside that it's a player character, is the fact that you want your best pilot out here, because some people are going to be flying around like maniacs. Not to nothing, you know. There's also narco gangers who are here who routinely spend their lives, for what's worth, just drugged out of their gourd on Xenos drugs, and some like going faster while they're doing that. So there's going to be races and shit like that around. Yeah, it's life is short and grim, and you want to have someone who is a defensive flyer when you are navigating around Footfall. So, do you carry on? You can easily. I mean, they don't seem to be demanding a stop. They're not doing anything beyond just tracking and watching where you're going. You can proceed back to the Mortis Probati without difficulty if you choose to.
Can't really think of anything else to do about it at the moment.
We could reach out to them, I guess.
Like through a microbead, you mean?
You could use the Vox unit on the ship. It's got to
get back to the ship, yeah. Gotcha.
Well, even on the shuttle, like the shuttle's got to have some kind of comm unit on it, so you could reach out to the AOI.
Would you wish to say something to them, Captain?
I mean, I think they it's not like it's surreptitious, so I don't know if we lose anything by seeing their reaction to our call, to our hail. Yeah, I'll call them up.
Do we wait
What's
until
that?
we're on the Mortis Probati and we have some defenses?
I suppose that's true. I mean, I guess there is a worst case scenario that it prompts an attack. It would certainly seem unlikely, but you don't know. We don't know why they're doing it in the first place. So,
Right.
Okay.
We're a little safer once we're on our ship. We're not instantly
Vaporized?
vaporized.
And
I'm sure
Alexander,
you would-
like, you're confident. Like, as soon as they get a lock on you, you'd be able to zip somewhere and try and get,
Right. It's not. I guess it's not game over.
It really, like, if you let them lock onto you and they fire without you taking evasive action, that's it.
Then,
Like, there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
chance of your thing surviving. But them hitting you successfully with such a large naval cannon type thing is going to be very challenging. It's likely they've done this to not actively threaten you, maybe, but to definitely get attention.
Right. It seems to me like they're reaching out. They're using their means of communication, which is to point their big gun at us in order to say something. What? I'm not sure, Captain, but
Well, I'll hail them after we get back aboard.
fair enough.
Okay. So you arrive back aboard the Mortis Probati. What we talked about last time was that you guys were going to be spending 3 weeks in here to be able to replenish your crew. And I think you were talking about repairs to the ship as well. The ship is currently got 7 points of hull damage. And Godwin has yet to share his insight that he drew with Madame Charlebelle.
Oh, right.
Yes, but we had some rather large cannon pointing at us, so I thought I'd not
Time and
distract-
place.
Yeah, not distract Lord Captain from his duties of making us safely on board the Mortis Probati.
The master of whispers and correct prioritization.
Yes.
Oh, this is funny, guys. This is a 9 second. I grabbed tonight's my notes, and I grabbed what I thought was for tonight. It turns out it is from almost exactly to the day 1 year ago when we were playing. So,
Wow.
campaign's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Lord Captain Aquari. Just a little something while we were in our discussions on the other ship.
Do tell.
If you care to indulge?
Please.
Yes. So your last little query there, will you be around here for long?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that tick? That I don't know if anybody else noticed, but and then I'm not sure I understand, but so that Godwin's going to explain it as best he can. Like she thinks it's of course she's going to be around, and why would you ask that question, kind of thing?
The two conclusions you can safely draw from it, Godwin. She expected that the Lord Captain, would know that she would be around, and she seemed surprised that he did not know that.
Yeah, she figured you'd be in the know, and she's surprised that you weren't. So maybe we don't have enough spies. Happy to help with that.
Is that not your department, Godwin?
We just met them. Yeah, indeed it is. But that also makes me wonder what they're doing. Why are they sticking around?
Did we notice any trouble with the ship, Kevin? Anything indicate that there's anything wrong with her ship, ostensibly?
Oh, wait a minute. We did notice something. That their ship, they had definitely put on a real show of prettying it up for us and making it look like as if it was being inspected,
Okay.
ready for ship inspection.
Yeah.
Kevin did mention that.
Yeah.
Wait, so would you do that normally for another rogue trader?
She might. What do you, Kevin? Do we have any sense?
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you're hosting someone aboard your ship that you don't know, and you both do come from pretty prominent names, you know, among Rogue Trader
Very
dynasties.
prominent.
Imagine you're having someone aboard your ship, but you are suffering any kind of setback, whether it's in terms of funding or in terms of like operations or in terms of your current crew levels. Would you let them see that, or would you do your best to hide all of that and put the best face you could?
Yeah.
Like, rogue traders can be allies, definitely, but your number one priority is always to the dynasty.
So we know that their house was weakened in the attacks.
Yep.
Maybe
Orcs.
she just expecting us to flaunt it, like our knowledge of that, and assume that they're not going anywhere. And maybe she should understand that our Lord Captain is just a genuine fellow who asks good-natured questions.
That's not the impression you got because she wasn't offended by it.
Oh, she wasn't offended by it. Okay.
No. She genuinely just seemed surprised at, like, how do you... Yeah.
How do you not know?
Here's another thing that you've noticed, Godwin. When you passed through Footfall before, there were a couple of other ships there. There does seem to be a fair amount of rogue traders here right now.
Oh.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you make 9. There are 9 rogue trader vessels here.
Crazy, actually.
Well, that's probably the answer. My original question was perhaps she has ship damage that she thought we knew about, so making it physically impossible for her to leave. I was just going with I was trying to knock down some of the most obvious possibilities, but
yeah, and you guys would have checked that. The vessel seems to be good. It actually wasn't, from what I understand, it wasn't involved with the orc conflict
battle.
Yeah.
But there's 9 rogue traders at Fork right now, Captain.
Godwin, maybe look into that. See what this is obviously no coincidence. I think there is a meeting of the minds going on of some kind.
Or start of a race, perhaps.
We've been gone quite some time, so who knows?
I can certainly get my people actively inquiring about that.
I think that would be for the best.
Here is something else I can share with you guys now. Here we go. Here is an old ally. Did I say ally? I meant foe. Haderach fell.
What could possibly bring so many rogue traders together, Captain?
Have we heard of anything like that before, Kevin, in our past? Of like, you know, that there's conclaves of rogue traders by chance or something?
I think, I mean, there have been before. You remember one of the famous, you know, sightings of House Aquare in the Cronus Expanse after the disappearance of your ancestor, whose name I cannot remember offhand right now. It is
long time ago.
So he disappeared quite some time ago, but his ship, you may remember, reappeared when there was a allied fleet of, I believe, pirates and Eldar that a bunch of the dynasties got together to face, and his long-lost vessel reappeared and seemed to join in turning the tide of battle against the Eldar pirates, and then disappeared once again. But it clearly had the markings of House Aquare on the hull of that ship. That was a big reason to bring everyone together, is when they were facing the Xenos.
So a large-scale
threat.
mutual threat
Yep.
would do it.
Definitely. Sometimes there's opportunities as well. And
But 9 seems like a lot. Well, let's say 8, because we weren't invited, or we've been gone. Who knows? But,
Right, we don't know yet why they're all here, so
Right.
we're not a part of it yet.
Not yet.
certainly something you could try and suss out, though, through your various...
Well, and we've met with 2 of the other 8, and they have not mentioned it. Although it would explain why. Oh shoot! I shouldn't have closed her thing.
Lady Charlebelle?
Yeah, why
Madam?
Madam would be surprised you don't know why that she's not leaving if she was involved.
Right. I mean, she figured we'd at least know about it, if not be invited. And
What does it tell you that she didn't correct you on it or inform you of whatever you were ignorant of?
That it is not for all to know.
maybe a little harder to say, but yeah. I mean, it's possible she want to embarrass me or something, but I mean, or
Yeah, vomit on your shirt. I'll just pretend it's not there. It's
yeah, toilet paper out the back.
Or there are spoils involved, and for every rogue trader that comes on board, the bounty goes down.
Well, let's see what Godwin comes up with. Let's get some more basic information before we go too much farther with this, because there could be a lot of things going on here. Like a mutual threat. That's not something you get invited to exactly. I mean, it's a mutual threat. You're happy to have, more the merrier. If 4 more rogue trader families show up with a fleet, God bless them. Like, let's get them on board. That's different than an opportunity. So let's find out what we are dealing with on a basic level, and then we can recommence our conversation thereof.
Okay. Do you want to talk about repairs for the ship?
Sounds good.
Okay. That's what I was looking up when I forgot. Okay. Navigating the warp. Constructing a starship. How about piecing one back together? Let's see. That may sound harsh. Critical hits on the... There we go. Fire, depressurization. Guys, there's all sorts of great news I'm learning here. Profit vector, here we go. Acquisition tests. Starship components, here we go. Okay, so where would it be here? Under starships, it'll tell us the price of this, or the acquisition cost. I'm gonna look in the index. Let's see for repairs. Maybe starship repairs. What is your profit factor currently, guys? I think we're keeping it on the Mortis Probati right now. Oh, you are muted again, Sean.
Dagnabbit, 42.
42, okay. Let's see here. Ghost Field. I'm trying to find the repair. Let me take a look in Starship Combat, maybe? So I found the rules for replenishing the crew last time, but damage to defenses, weapons and shooting. Extended repairs, here we go. Oh, here we go. So, to perform...
What page?
Page 228.
Okay.
That's our damage is 33 out of 40. Is that what that is?
Yes. So for a more thorough repair job, the starship will need to find an inhabited planet or space station. Once a suitable world has been located, the crew can pay to have their starship repaired. If any hull integrity is repaired, any damages, for every 5 points of hull integrity restored, you must make an acquisition penalty at -10. These are sequential. Once one has failed, you have temporarily exhausted your available funds and must wait 1d5 weeks until more money is available or seek repairs elsewhere. So, would you like to give us an acquisition test at -10?
Oh, I see. Okay. That's on the, that's near the profit factor.
On the Mortis Probati?
Yeah.
But it's your skill, right? Isn't it?
No, acquisition test is using this profit factor.
Oh, it's just profit factor test.
Yeah.
-10, you say?
-10, and that factors in all the components and availability and stuff it says. You can also sort of try and do it yourself. It's just that it takes several weeks to do this stuff. So see if you can pay someone, some scum, to come and... Oh, okay. You want to fortune that?
Sure. Let's see here. Let's give that a shot. Acquisition minus... It's a pretty good little list here. Availability, the scale for drop downs.
Yeah.
And craftsmanship is on there too.
Yeah, so just a net -10.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, so close too. Jeez. Okay.
Although my threshold changed. I don't know why that is at the moment. At this time.
Did you... Oh, that is... Why on earth did that change?
It doesn't matter. I would have failed. But I must have filled out one of the forms wrong. That's all I could think of. Did I fill it out wrong? Huh.
Maybe threshold's what you... Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know what...
I would have failed.
Oh, did you make a roll yourself instead of the Mortis from Rodney?
Oh, you know what I did.
Okay, that's why.
That's why.
Yeah, okay. So then, unfortunately, so your resources, it seems, are stretched a little thin, pushing up against the Haderach Fel, making you new allies and whatnot. You're not able to do that. Give us a 1d5 roll, please, Captain. Lord Captain.
1d5.
Yeah.
If it's Val who's...
If in the 3 weeks that you're here... Oh, one more. So 4 weeks, you will be able to make a roll again. So you could push remaining in here for another week, or you could try and you have to find another place to weigh anchor, and the member of the crew directing the repairs makes a tech use check, and they tally the number of degrees of successes and failures. And then each successful check gives a 1d5 hull integrity repair. So it just takes a lot longer. You could just try and supervise repairs. If you do want to start affecting them, you could do that with somebody on board. You have to promote a new explorator. Oh, wait, no, you do have an explorator on board. Hold on. It is...
He's on the Zarkov, eh?
No, not Zarkov. Zarkov is the... he's the agent to... it's Octus or Castor. Let me bring him on over here.
Octus sounds familiar.
Yeah, this was the guy who was... There he is. Octus was NPC. He was the explorator on your bridge. So he could be... I mean, you could certainly promote Zarkov in place of Octus. But Octus he was the one who kept the chaff or spamming, or not spam, what do you call it? The jamming going the whole time that you guys were on Righteous Path.
That was very important.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, then, what do you guys wish to do now with your time? You guys have several weeks now to kill in Footfall while you're replenishing the crew, while you're taking some time away.
Let's see.
Sounds like Godwin's going to try and send some agents, but you could also send some of your other agents in.
Yeah, I mean, I would think this is going to be a primary purpose, a primary task to see what's up. I mean, it's possible it could be could be particularly important. I mean, back to the common threat idea, then that would be particularly urgent if something is about to happen. But yeah, in any case, we'd want to know. I will do. Did you need anything, Alessandro? At one time, we were in need of some equipment. But did you get that?
No, I still would like to get a different pistol or weapon of some sort for
Alessandro, I feel like we've been
myself.
talking about your handgun for years. You still haven't upgraded that.
Let's take a quick look again. Because hand cannon is actually a pretty awesome weapon in both Wrath and Glory and Imperium Maledictum. Yeah. Let's make sure we've got it recorded correctly here, because...
I mean, maybe it's wrong. Let's see.
Hand cannon does 1d10 plus 4 damage. Semi-auto rate of fire. Pen 2, so it's got a decent penetration. Takes for fucking ever to reload. And is a clip of 5. The range is better than... Well, no, it's better than an auto pistol, but... Yeah. Well, it's not terrible as far as pistols go. It's just not the... I don't know why it's been... Maybe it's just been your dice rolls, Jeff, that has cast aspersions on
maybe.
it.
I don't know.
Because I'm looking at the stats. Like the penetration is 2, which is better than kind of any other pistol. It does more damage than any pistol. It just has a smaller clip.
Maybe I just was up against much tougher enemies, and that made it feel very weak.
Yeah. So would you like to... Weapons are on page 118, 118 of the The range weapons, at least. If there's something else, like a bolt pistol, definitely is better. It's got a higher rate of fire, more damage, more penetration. It's got the tearing result, which I think... Where is it?
Is there a compendium in this one to add the items, or
There is not. No, the game
Okay.
is the game is out of print, other than PDFs. So
yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I can go shopping at some point and choose one of the basic weapons, and it's not. We don't need to make an event of it.
unless it's one of the rare or very rare ones, then we would want to make a roll.
Oh,
An
maybe
acquisition.
that's worth it to try for something interesting.
Like if you wanted a storm bolter, for instance, is an extremely rare weapon.
Okay, let me just check here.
The storm; those are going to be two-handed weapons, so you'll have to make a choice on something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a cool weapon for sure, but you're two-handing it, just so you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But
Rifle.
what am I ever
Long
doing
one.
with my other hand?
Because
Maybe so.
I've got
very good.
I don't
Leagues of,
have a. Yeah, I mean, I have a mono sword, but
I've got my what do you call it? I got the Leagues of Votan stuck in my head. Let me see about graviton guns. I don't know if those are introduced in this by this time this game came out, or whether it was only after.
page 180, 181.
181 of the core book, yeah. Let's see here. Exotic melee. Exotic ranged.
Because you can roll to see if some of these things are available.
Exactly. Archaeotech. Oof.
Wait, what book is this then? That's not the right book.
Is it the core book?
Also, we're checking into the storm.
Thought it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now is Into the Storm.
Nice. Yep.
Graviton guns are not in here.
Imperium Maledict. The cover just says Imperium Maledictum.
So you want to be in the Road Trader one?
Oh, right.
I'm getting a feeling, guys, that
stupid
you, like me, had a favorite game
No, I just
over the
clicked
past.
the wrong one in my downloads. I'm just like, wait a minute, this doesn't look right.
Yeah, this is the cover you're looking for, Jeff.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's just say that Jeff downloads a lot of PDFs.
Oh, I see. I see one of maybe when Quinilly gets older, a bolter cane. How about that?
That is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
You do have a lot of the...
Oh,
the web pistol is in here. Is in the Into the Storm source book. Remember how fun the Weber gun was in Imperium Maledictum?
Oh yeah. I don't know if I was there for that session.
I'm trying to think here. It was they used it against the gangers. Maybe you weren't.
Yeah,
That might have
I
been
don't
the
think I
early
was.
part of the year where
Yeah,
You were
I
just-
missed that one.
the Weber's pretty fucking cool.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you could go with a plasma pistol as well. They are extremely rare, but they do a lot of fucking damage.
That's what I have, I believe.
Assault flamer,
Flamers are interesting.
a ripper pistol.
okay, here we go.
Holy shit, that's got crazy penetration.
All right, now page 181.
Okay. And then Into the Storm is on page 113. If you're looking at that, that's the player's book. Godwin, do you require anything further? Any upgrades to your armor? Any kind of additional weapons? Augmetics you want to have installed?
Not that I'm aware of.
You want to pick up a servo skull? Or a servitor?
Looking at my sheet.
Because these are all profit factor acquisitions. I think you guys each get one per kind of like big opportunity. Mm-hmm. So, if there is anything you wish to substantially upgrade, this is definitely an opportunity to do that.
Is it possible to roll for a rare one, and then if it's not available, to just buy like a regular simple one? Or are you like, is that like your chance to obtain something?
No, I really would only make it, if it's a common thing, you're going to have the resources to get it. It's only when it's rare or very rare or extremely rare that it becomes a question. And even then, like if you're acquiring just one, I think you get a pretty substantial bonus to your acquisition roll. So, for instance, here we go, acquisition. So if you are... There we go. If you're acquiring... And let's say very rare weapon, that's minus 20. But if it is a single person, if it's one of them you're acquiring, that's a plus 30. If it is, depending on the quality, you can modify. And then you can also expend 1 for 5 to blow your, what do you call it? Your profit factor. 1 point gives you plus 5 to a single roll, and you can blow as many as you like. I think that's, let me double check. I want to make sure it's not 10. Let's see. Oops.
Maybe I could see if I could get my hands on a plasma gun.
Ooh.
I like the looks of it. I think one of the... It's got a nice advantage over the hand cannon for range, which would help. Does a decent amount of damage. It's got a big clip.
This is for the plasma. What rarity is it?
It is very rare.
It's very rare. Okay. So if you wish, so I was looking up in the book. So the book doesn't give great direction of how to make use of the spending profit factor, but the adventures do. So I was just making sure I wasn't shortchanging it by only giving a plus 5 per point spent. And I wasn't. Guys, I found the corruption section. Don't worry. I know you were asking about that.
Corrupted armor? Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. So, Jeff, it'll be your profit factor, I believe, is a 34 right now if you go to the, or 32 if you go to the Mortis Probati.
Yeah.
You said it was a very rare? Or extremely rare?
I think it's just very rare.
Very rare. It would be minus 20. The number is negligible, so it'll be plus 30. And then it is a question of craftsmanship. Do you wish to get common, good, or best? And the effect of those is in the weapons section. I think they were talking about that.
I got the stupid window resize bug. You can't click anywhere to stop it from there.
Oh, no.
I hate that bug.
Don't take that sitting down, Jeff. Get him.
Dang it. Okay. So, profit factor. Is that a skill? I've never actually used our profit factor before.
Amazon's here.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's set to 42 right now. Is that wrong?
It should be. It should be 42. Yeah, you're right. Right. 32 is what because of minus 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, hold on. I'm just checking the quality. Craftsmanship, here we go.
It was minus 20 for the rarity and plus 30 because I just want one.
Minus 20 for the rarity, plus 30 because you just want one. The scale is negligible. And then it's a question of the craftsmanship. So a common craftsmanship is no modifier. A good craftsmanship, which would grant you plus 5 to hit, would be minus 10, and best, it grants a plus 10, adds plus 1 damage, and well, it's from melee. Hold on. It's only if it has the unreliable quality it becomes it loses that quality. Best is what you want because it means that anything that would count as overheating, you instead count as a miss.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really good, especially for a plasma pistol because it's got the overheating quality.
Oh, so best would help on this one.
Best would help on that one, but it would be a minus 30. That's effectively getting a plasma pistol that was owned by, like, another person in the Lord Captain's position.
Yeah.
Now, what that would net you was a minus 20 to the roll, so you'd have a 22, but you could spend profit factor on a 1 for 5 basis. Every profit factor spent on the roll, which would come on after you make the roll, it would give plus 5.
Do I see Alexander eyeballing my plasma gun?
Apparently.
Pistol?
But I'm like, what? I'm going for the gun. It's even bigger than the pistol.
Long arm.
Hell yeah.
It's still very rare, but it's the same rarity. But I don't really need I can use 2 hands on it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. I got to cover your back, Captain. I've seen
that.
the damage you can do with that plasma pistol.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, I would say the two rogue trader weapons that come to mind the most are either plasma or bolt.
Yeah.
The two kind of ranking positionary type weapons that come to mind.
Yeah.
If
That's because you're
seek.
a filthy Imperial. So now if you're an Eldar, vortex cannons and melta guns and death spinners.
Yeah.
It's great shit.
Shuriken
cannons. Okay, so what you can also do is whoever has the best commerce skill can give a commerce skill roll, and you can improve the profit factor by 2 points for every degree of success.
Shopping.
Oh, a little temporary boost.
Yep.
I'll go speak to Godwin. Godwin,
Yes.
you're a guy who can find things. I'm looking for a plasma gun. Been running into a lot of trouble, and especially this talk of cloners here. I need to be ready to make sure that no one gets near the captain.
Am I to assume that you don't want some run-of-the-mill gun that can be purchased from any shop on any platform?
Exactly.
To make some inquiries, and I'm sure I have some connections that can help you with that acquisition.
Okay. Would you give us a commerce check, please? I'll roll for it's a contested one. Modifier is it's challenging, I think. So 0 modifier. 1 degree of success. However, let me make sure I want to make sure it's done the same way it is in Imperium Maledictum and Warhammer Fantasy. We're playing the game.
So it puts it at a 44 temporarily, just for this pistol, right?
Well, hold on. I want to see if it's if contested rolls are comparative degrees of success the way that it is in those other games. Because if so, I failed by a substantial amount.
Oh.
Yeah, I just want to double check.
Right, like as in, yeah, I get it. Okay.
Here we go. Pose test.
Was it minus 30 for the best quality?
It was minus 30 for the best quality, yeah, and you'll increase profit factor by 2. It isn't contested rolls. It's just if you succeed, you just compare what your...
okay, so it's 54% chance if I just go for a regular one. It's 44 if I go for the good one, and it's 24 if I go for the best.
No, it's minus 30. Oh, 24, that's correct, yes.
54 months.
Because I got a 2% bonus from Godwin's Help.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was plus 10 because of the...
And you can spend profit factor on a 1 for 5 basis to increase your chances. If you blew 3 profit factor, that would increase the chances by 15. If you spent 10, it would increase it by 50.
You just blow all the ship's money to like acquire this one rifle. I don't think you would do that.
Who signed all these contracts? I don't know.
Really I don't know, but have you seen this thing?
Do I have to get involved in this? Because the captain would prefer not to. The Lord Captain would prefer not to.
I don't believe
you have to supervise this minor situation. What's that, Dave?
I don't believe the Lord Captain's been informed about this acquisition.
It doesn't seem like it, does it? Doesn't.
No. You guys have signed up for a bunch of space credit cards?
Right. Right.
In a spaceport?
Yeah. I'm using my Rogue Trader Capital One to pay off my Rogue Trader MasterCard.
Imperial One. What's in your wallet?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so Jeff never likes to use team resources for personal gain, but Alessander feels like he really suffered through the warp these last couple times.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there was like the whole cactus incident.
Yep.
There was all these monsters that were summoned.
Yep.
He feels like he's earned some of that.
There were metal skeletons that tried to kill you.
Yeah. What about like the what were they, orcs or something that had flamethrowers?
Yep.
Like way early on?
Yep.
Yeah.
But when the credit card statement arrives at the Mortis Probati, that's when we all find out what's up.
Yeah. That's so.
Alessander, what are you hiding over there? You're so furtive today.
Oh man. So he's gonna spend 2. I'm gonna use 2 of our beautiful points. That's right. For a 10% temporary boost.
You better get it. That's all I know.
Okay, so that's either a 64%, a 54%, or a 34%.
So what are you thinking?
To decide which one to go for. A 2/3 chance, a 50-50, or a 1/3 chance. I mean, Roll20 hates me. So
let's hold on before you decide that. Let's take a look at what you can spend fortune points on, because if you can upgrade the chances before you roll,
that's right.
If you hover over your fortune, I think it'll tell you probably faster than it would take me to find it. I'm gonna try and find it anyway. Because
fate, you mean?
A fate, yeah, fate, not fortune in this game.
Oh, okay.
By the end of the session today, I'll start calling it fate, and I'll screw it up tomorrow.
Gain a plus 10 bonus to a test. Gain additional degree of success. Count as having rolled a 10 for initiative roll. Remove damage. Okay, so it's plus 10. Oh, I am 100% spending a fate point on this.
Okay.
Oh, now we are at like pretty good numbers.
What do you think?
Man, it is such a huge advantage on this weapon because of the fact that it can overheat to actually get the best quality one.
Yeah.
And with all my spending, I'm at a 44% chance, which is almost a point
with
flip.
The upgraded one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here overheats, if you make an attack roll of 91 or higher, it overheats, and the wielder suffers energy damage equal to the weapon's damage with a penetration of 0 to an arm location.
Oh.
You may choose to avoid taking the damage by simply dropping the weapon, which is a free action. A weapon that overheats must spend the round afterwards cooling down and may not be fired again until the second round after overheating.
Okay. If I spend a fate point beforehand to increase it by 10, can I still spend a fate point after to try and reroll or no?
I can't remember rules as written, but that's what we've been allowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get 2 shots at 44. I'm going for it.
Here we go.
All right. So if I click profit factor acquisition test.
Yeah, but you just put +2 when it gets to the final modifier. I think it's the.
Yeah. I'll just say 0 on all these other ones. Because, okay.
Here we go. Come on, big money.
Oh, wait. Does it? Oh, yeah. It's just got a whole bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 0. That is 0. And this is 2%.
Yeah.
Come on, big money. Big money. Plasma gun for Alessander.
No! All right, now you want a fortune then. Fate that.
Fate that. I'm absolutely spending another fate on this gun.
Oh, you are spending your permanent level of fate instead of your.
I'm spending the wrong one.
Yeah, that's all right.
This one. There we go.
He really wants that gun.
Yeah, he's burning.
Oh yeah, he's burning fate for this gun. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
He
Come on.
switched from cactuses to this gun. It's obsessive.
He's got a bit of a problem. Okay.
Come on.
But hopefully after this, he'll be a threat on the battlefield. Come on, roll 20.
Ollie Saunders is going to be insufferable now. Just insufferable until he gets that pistol.
He is not telling anybody about that -2 to the profit factor unless they find out somehow.
Oh, do you remember that there was someone embezzling over the months, right?
That's right. There was
causing the problem.
Now we know.
Captain, I've discovered more embezzlement.
Oh boy!
So I can try again in a month or something.
Let me tell you, you could try. I think you can try again when you when circumstances change. But let me double check here.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, because you failed by so little there. Let me just double check and make sure there's nothing we're missing here. Although, why is it showing 1 degree of failure when you rolled a 6? It should be 2 degrees of failure, right?
Yeah.
True. It didn't have anything to do with one of your modifier fields, right?
I don't know. Oh, maybe there's like weird math in there, but I mean it doesn't matter. I rolled a 67 and a 60, and it was worth versus a 44. So I mean we can figure out what happened.
Okay, here we go. Frequency of acquisitions.
Maybe it's 2 full sets of 10 in this game for a degree of success. Is that correct?
It could be.
They might do math different. That wouldn't surprise me. From 20 years ago, they decided to.
Oh, here we go. Okay, degrees of success. Yeah, for every full 10 points in this game.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that would make sense then.
Yeah. In which case, there would be places where you'd be at 0 degrees of failure. Because you will fail, but you won't have failed by 10.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, here we go. Frequency of acquisition. If an explorer fails an acquisition test, then it's up to the GM to decide when he may make it again, taking into account access to resources, merchants, and markets. Typically, should have to spend time looking for new vendors or traders, or possibly traveling to a new location. By the same token, if one explorer in a group fails to acquire an item during a mercantile foray, it stands to reason that attempts by other explorers will also meet a failure. If an item is not available, then it's not available.
Right, you can't just have someone else try
Yeah, but it is the kind of thing I think that would be an heirloom type thing. So like perhaps if you speak to if you made inroads into the other houses, you may be able to try again. I'm assuming what you've done thus far is you have tried to draw on the resources that you could access in Footfall. Maybe in the second week that you're here, you could try and follow up with, let's see, where our House of Quarry influence. House Blitz, maybe?
Right. Didn't Noros
House
make some
Armalon?
friends with some military? Oh, they weren't military. They were...
the Drusians?
Yeah, the Drusians. But they were like more...
They're more religious fanatics.
than weapon people.
And the Twilight Swords, I'm trying to remember. I don't think that Eldar use plasma guns. I think use melta guns instead as sort of an equivalent. But so the Twilight Swords may not be available. But you know who might? So where are you guys with the +0 with the Casbolica right now? So next week you could try following up with someone else. Does anyone else have any acquisitions they need to take care of?
How about you, Godwin?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think I do. How about you, Godwin?
Well, Kevin actually, I don't know if you were joking or not, said armor, and I was looking on my sheet. I'm like, I don't see any armor on my sheet. I have the chameleon cloak.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything to give me any sort of additional toughness or...
So you may want to beef up on that because you could
We're
get...
making friends everywhere.
Yeah. So mesh armor would be a good
yeah, that's what I was looking at.
choice for that.
Just scrolling back up.
Yeah, because that would be lightweight and surprisingly comfortable. I mean, I assume that Captain or Lord Captain Aquari is going towards power armor at some point. He's going full wannabe. What do you call it?
A star.
Yeah, Primarch. Just like power armor and a lightning claw.
Full deal.
Yep. Power armor does get plus 20 to your strength.
I'll put my Xeno pelt cloak over the top of my power armor.
Exactly. The Chapter Aquare Space Marines. What do you think, Godwin?
Well, maybe I do have some kind of armor because it says I've got 3 armor, arms, and legs. Just don't see it on my sheet. Am I missing something?
Under equipment?
I think the void suit, the armored void suit, gives you 3. Is that maybe what you're wearing, or what's tracked on there? Because you guys had been wearing a void suit at some point.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Okay. Let's take a look into the storm if there's any sexy upgrades available. Let's see.
Where do you put your armor?
On your body. What do you mean?
No, like on the sheet.
Well, I don't know.
I have it listed under gear and tools, right side.
Gear and tools.
Yeah. Under armor and defense, under that is gear and tools. And then armor and defense directly above it is where you have the body parts filled out.
Yeah,
Captain,
right now it's got 3 AP.
Gotcha.
Lord Captain, I don't want to get you too excited here, but heavy power armor is located into the storm, as are force fields.
Ooh, force fields. Force fields are sexy. I mean, you don't have to make choices there. I mean, you just,
Yep.
Well, wait till I get that statement that Alexander caused. When the statement comes to the ship, and I got to figure out what's what.
So it'll be like that old Simpsons episode where Homer gets the phone bill. Burkina Faso, disputed zone. Who's been calling these crazy places?
Yeah.
He's like, choir, just pay the bill and I'll release some endorphins.
I'm going to have to figure out Alexander's middle name so I can go, Alexander Roger Jones? To the bridge, please. To the bridge.
To the bridge.
So I'm just going to get a regular mesh cowl. I don't need to get any Xeno mesh, I don't think.
Okay.
Mesh cowl, mesh vest. Or Xeno mesh, I guess is the body part. Arms, body, legs.
Yeah, Xenomesh covers arms, body, and legs. That is a rare acquisition. And
here we go with rare acquisitions.
But let's take a look at the quality. Here we go. So good quality against the first attack in any round increases the AP by 1. Best quality weighs half the normal amount and flat out increases the AP by 1.
Huh.
So what that would give you is as endeavors. Here we go. Profit factor. No, that's acquisition. I should mark the darn page number. Here we go. So page 273 is where I'm looking. All right, so it is a rare, which is -10. It is negligible, so single person plus 30, so it's plus 20. And craftsmanship, if it is best, it would be at -10.
I'm just going to go for good.
For good, okay. It'd be -10, so it'll be a net plus 10 then.
And do I do a commerce check for myself?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Give us a commerce check. I'll make the roll on my side. I did succeed, but you succeeded by more, so you'll increase your profit factor by 6.
Okay, so then
Nice.
now I go to the ship page.
Yeah, and the ship page, I think it's down to 40 right now.
I don't know why our profit factor just seems
No,
to
it's
be
weird.
slipping away.
It's really weird.
Profit factor is
Really?
diminished.
Yeah.
something.
Really strange.
Okay, so
I
I'm
have to launch an audit after all.
and
I'll
so
speak with the accounting department.
the acquisition test.
Acquisition test, yeah, and it is going to be, if you want to skip through everything, it'll be a net of plus. The very last modifier will allow you to add something. Remember, don't put the plus sign in, but add 16 to the result. Unless you want to spend a fate point and increase it by another 10 to 26.
Yeah,
I mean, Chef would recommend pumping that up as high as you can get it. But
I'm just trying to get through all the modifiers here to get it back to 0, 0. I will spend a point.
Okay,
so that'll be plus 26?
26, yes.
No plus sign.
No plus sign. Otherwise, the warp opens. Look at that! Acquired.
nice.
There you go. You've got a good quality Xeno mesh now. Godwin?
Impressive.
Very cool. Does it do anything else? I guess without the head piece, probably not, but...
So that's 3 AP, body, arms, and legs.
Correct. And then it'll get plus 1 AP against the first attack each round.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's fun making get stuff a little test like this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff.
It's all good. It's roll 20, not Dave to blame.
Yeah, but still. Could have rolled you an extra couple percent.
Look, if Alessandro drops and the captain falls shortly thereafter because his back's not covered by the plasma gun, he'll soon think that was a deal if he had spent the.
So we can't wear the armor and the void suit, can we?
There's rules for layering armor or mixing armor before. I don't think so. No. Their protective qualities do not stack. When an area covered by multiple pieces of armor is struck, the highest AP value is used.
Okay, so I'm still at AP 3.
Yeah.
So plus 1 AP on first attack per round. That's really the big benefit.
Definitely, yeah. That's what you spent the extra whatever points for.
And no profit factor.
Okay. No profit factor loss. No, that's good. One fate point down, though. Captain Acquire, anything you wish to acquire?
I think I might take a look for a power sword.
Ooh. I thought you had a power sword.
I have one power sword.
But I have two hands.
I beg your pardon.
All right. So a power sword, let's see here, is a very rare item.
Very rare.
So at default, too much, Madison. Here we go. Very rare is minus 10. It is only for yourself, so it's plus 30. That's a net plus 20. And then what craftsmanship are you going for? With melee weapons, good will give you plus 5 to hit. Whatever the next one up best is plus 10 and plus 1 damage.
And that's minus 30 to get best, right?
That's right, yeah. So it'd be a net minus 20. Wait. Net minus 10. Net minus 10. But you could spend a fate point to make that a net no modifier.
Yep. And then another one for reroll if needed.
Yep. And you could also blow profit factor to blow it up by 5 for every profit factor you spend.
I don't know if I want to affect the whole operation like that. I want to be more thrifty than...
Well, especially with the amount of unexpected losses that you seem to be suffering too.
With all this embezzlement.
You're going to spend 2 profit factor? Okay, sounds good. I'll mark that down.
With all the embezzlement going on, who can afford profit factor for things like this? Let's see. Yeah, we'll try for best.
For best, okay. And if you're spending days, so currently you're rolling at a modifier of 0 at the cost of 1 fate point.
Yep, okay. Here we go. 1 fate point down. And I am rolling an acquisition test, right?
That is correct, from the Mortis Probati.
Okay. And no modifier.
No modifiers. Oh, do you want Godwin to make a commerce roll first?
Godwin, do you think you could ask around about an appropriate sword that was fitting for my station?
Certainly. I'm definitely can work something out.
You want to fate that?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay. I got 2 degrees of success from the contested roll.
Back into it, man.
So you're going to decrease the profit factor by 2 for the purpose of this, because the successes gives you a better chance. Failures reduce your profit factor only for the purpose of this test.
Oh, no.
So
you'll take a penalty by penalty.
It'd be a net of minus 2, yeah.
If I roll at all, it'll be a penalty -2?
Correct. Because
Gotcha.
you relied on Godwin's charms.
Help.
And
My assistance was invaluable.
You pissed somebody off.
Oh, very well.
here it comes.
So from 40 down to 38 then?
The 40 down to... Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Big money.
And no modifier?
-2. Like, the profit factor doesn't reduce permanently. It's only for the purpose of this roll. So it's only a -2 to this roll. It doesn't make the profit factor go down.
Leave the profit factor at 40 and just put a -2 on the last modifier of your roll.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, big money. Come on, Captain. There you go. Nicely
Look at
done.
that.
All right, a best
Godwin, don't
quality.
worry about it. I've got it. Thank you.
Oh, no, I certainly helped. Certainly helped.
All right, so that'll be +10 to hit with it and +1 to damage.
Nice.
That is excellent. Then, what would you guys like to do? That's the acquisitions for it. Godwin is going to be sending out folks to try and reach out through contacts. Yeah. And this is actually going to be you going out, I think, Godwin, at this point, because you guys just do not have that much of a presence on Footfall. Your agents are sort of the people you've got, so you're going to have to kind of go out and do some of that stuff. But what about Alessander and Captain Aquare, or your other agents? And that's something to think about too. Is how do we want to handle when we're doing the tasks with the other agents? Do we swap over to those games? Do we convert them over into this? Do we convert, like, alternatively convert Imperium Maledictum people to Wrath and Glory, or Wrath and Glory people to Imperium Maledictum? What is your preference here? And I don't want my overwhelming love of Imperium Maledictum to affect your decision one way or the other.
I mean, if it's for, if it's for a conversational scene, then I would think it'd be easiest to stay in the same game.
Mm-hmm. Right? So I can write up pretty much all these characters, actually all of these characters, full stop. Because we've got rules for Sanctioned Psychers in Only War. We have rules for the medics in Only War. We have rules for the soldier, the what do you call it? They call it a what is it? Militar or something or other. Arc Militant. We use that for Noros. Ignatius is a rogue trader. Explorator is an explorator, and I've got fan-made rules for making a Corsair. So we can have all these in Rogue Trader.
Unless you're going to do a war story, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If something extensive comes up, we can reevaluate. We think it's going to be a 5-session situation or something for some reason. But yeah, if it's a scene, it seems like we should stay in game.
Okay.
Stay in the same game.
Then I will update the... Yeah, between now and next session, I should be able to do that.
Right on.
Yeah. I think it'll be good to have names to the various crew members. Or stats and whatnot for the various folks you're going to send out as, thugs or to a company or whatever. Although I think when you guys leave here, you'll be leaving all of them behind, I imagine, because we had sort of set up in fiction that Ignatius was set up to kind of mind the shop while he was here, and Lady Octavia was his minder, or his agent. So, what... we're at our mid-session break. Why don't we take our break, and then we'll come back, and you guys can tell us what Alessander and Captain Aquare, if there's anything else you wish to do, you want to talk to. Examples of things you could do, Captain Aquare, I don't think you have had a getting to know Captain Blitz or Captain Jerry yet, so you could get to know Captain Jerry. She seems pretty friendly towards your your dynasty and seems to want your favor, at least from what Ignatius has said. So she may be able to shed some light on this. You at least have a contact at the Casbolica, so you could speak to them, try and get information there. Godwin, you may want to draw on that. And then Alessander, you certainly...
Yeah.
There's Cactus's deed, I guess.
Who we'd be interested in talking to.
Yeah. So, why don't we take our mid-session break now, and then we'll come back in 5 minutes, and we'll see what our explorers are going to do next. So, for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Jeff, you ever play Warhammer Fantasy?
Yeah, I believe I have played Warhammer Fantasy. Here on the channel, actually.
Yeah, that current Humble Bundle is pretty ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Humble Bundle has just ridiculous. I mean, Bundle of Holdings are really good. Humble Bundle's like ridiculous deals. For $18, you get like 26 books or something. PDF, of course. So if you don't, obviously you have to be interested in the game, so it just depends. But, for someone that doesn't have, if you haven't bought much of it yet, the deal is just, it's just stupid good. I was talking about the Warhammer Fantasy Humble Bundle to Jeff. So I didn't think you were probably invested in it, Jeff. So, and you may not be interested, but if you're interested at all, the $18 is just silly what you get for that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's, the core book, the 3 supplemental books that are like the 1.5 or 1.1, versions of the rules. Because they've tweak combat with one of the supplements, they tweak magic with another one, they tweak monsters with a third. Those 3 are included with it. The Archives of the Empire, which is a bunch of extra like assorted shit, is with it. 3 contiguous region source books, 4 if you count Lustria, because you can kind of sail there through the Sea of Claws. It's at a just incredible deal for all the core books.
Really is.
Yeah. And Warhammer Fantasy 4th is just an awesome game. It takes a while to get fully everything on board, and I really enjoy the optional rules Up in Arms for it. I feel like that makes combat just sing.
Yep.
But yeah, great source book, or great game.
I was only missing 7 items, but it's still a deal. It's still, it's still
at $18 for sure.
Oh, I take it back. 25. It's $25.
Oh my God, that's outrageous. I will not pay $7 more for.
I was totally trying to pull one over on you, Jeff. I was trying to get you to pull that trigger.
Hey, it happens.
It's pretty fucking awesome. The Humble Bundle deals are just because I got a bunch of the stuff, the source books I've got, or the PDF versions of the Rogue Trader stuff. I'm pretty sure I got in a Humble Bundle recently, because I knew I needed some of the reference images and stuff like that. I am not crazy about how the FFG PDFs are put together, because I have to do that stupid, assembling them. But not a problem with Cubicle 7.
It may be because you're so old. I don't really know. It's possible.
I'm sure that's what it is.
It's a legitimate possibility, I think, with a Rogue Trader type game.
It would be very weird if it was intentional to do it that way. Like, I don't think it's because you can still, I mean, like, it's not copy protected in any way. So I didn't have to crack any of the PDFs, but awesome. All right. So then, let's see here. The acquisitions were done. We have taken our break to consider how our explorers are intending on finding out what the hell the other road traders may know that you do not. How do you guys want to go about doing that?
Godwin, that's your, what do you think?
We ask questions. But it'd be easier if we had some interaction with them that we could disguise our.
I mean, a couple things come to mind. I think, like, our agents, we can see if our agents know. I mean, if with that many rogue traders, that's a pretty big deal. So it's some chance that just our people know. That some of our people that would just tell us for free, obviously, that are already with us, that are.
You can assume that you have done that with your agents. Yeah, gotcha. Like the agents, they don't know. They are uncertain as to what the hell's going on.
Well, the other one is go back to
Adder Solicat.
Madam and just, you know, I mean, we've been gone for the better part of a year, you know, sue us, you know, I don't know what's going on. So that's why you have friends that tell you, you know, so you can.
You have Jerry as well too.
Oh, Jerry. Yep. Maybe that's a reason to maybe.
There's also the cannon that was trained on us when we were heading back to the ship that you wanted to deal with.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up again.
Perhaps
so
that's somehow related.
Why don't, Alessandro, did you have your heart set on something to do besides the Rogue Trader conclave, seemingly conclave?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I wasn't sure what Alessandro would do.
There was something else, you guys, just as a reminder, the Wraithbone that is currently part of the hull of the Mortis Probati. That is something that you guys had talked about
dealing with.
Yeah, before, but that thing, like the last time we had that conversation as the players and Rogue, the Game Master, Watch Captain, this was months ago. So if there, I don't recall there being a decision on it one way or the other, but that was before you guys got to know more about what was going on in Footfall and who the different contacts are.
Right.
What you know is the Wraithbone hull like this would likely have been part of a craft world, in all likelihood.
So here's a possibility, a proposal. What if Alessandra and I meet with Jerry? I will meet her for the first time, and I can talk with her about the Rogue Trader situation, see if she knows anything about it. I could even ask her maybe about the guns and see if she has any thought on that. She seems to be a reasonable person to bounce it off of. She may not know anything, but, you know, hey, this happened. Is that weird? You know, I mean, of course it's weird, but has it happened to you? And blah, blah, blah. And just get to know her and kind of, I think she's a good one to, Ignatius spoke well of her. It was Ignatius, right? Ignatius?
Ignatius met her initially, then put her in touch with Lady Octavia.
Lady Octavia spoke well of her, and so I
even
think she's
Icarus
a good one.
did. I mean, he kind of creeped around the side of her, but he did speak well of her.
Icarus is still hitting on that blind woman. Is strange, but so I think I was already thinking that is a good meeting, and so I think now I'm even more thinking that, considering that she's an obvious conduit for the potential Rogue Trader conclave here. So Godwin, maybe we can take another angle with your skills, good man, of creeping around the Rogue Trader taverns. Maybe, you know, it's straightforward. Or, you know, they don't go to the taverns, but the high end.
I mean, Jerry does go to the Adeptus Amicus.
That's Jerry. I mean, come on, Jerry's.
That is Jerry.
That's why Madam doesn't like her. I mean, she made it clear. That's why card game Jerry. They call her.
Yeah, exactly. She's a Rogue Trader because of a card game she won with the System Lord. Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Although Madam should probably not scoff at allies at this time. But anyway. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Would you like me to accompany you, sir?
Oh, you're more than welcome. Yeah, you can more than welcome. I just didn't know whether your skills would be better used independently on another angle on the Rogue Trader situation. That would be either way. You can accompany us, or if you think.
Perhaps later. I'd like to accompany you and Alessandra.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks to kill as well.
Yeah,
pick up on a few things here and there.
Sounds good.
You do have also Lady Ash at your disposal if you choose to bring her along.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a psyker. That's always a she lurks a little less than Icarus.
Yeah. She also is in need of a new familiar.
Oh, what was her before? What was her?
You guys destroyed that Cyberhawk of hers when it tried to steal the Nemolith back in whatever it is. Port Wanderer, I think, was the first place.
Some time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
That the new book. I like that the new book has a familiar section. That's pretty sweet.
I mean, geez, that's 3 times Imperium Maledictum has come up, guys. Oh. I can't wait to run that game. I'm not going to force it in this campaign, but I am really looking forward to running that game again. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm running it. I'm going to get running it right now. The starter set. So
awesome.
Yep.
So also.
Good. Well, we're good. We're done.
Okay, so we're
on our way.
Yeah, I'm just finding the Adeptus. Oh, it's right next to me. Jesus. Right here, guys. Here we go.
Excellent. Oh yeah, it's a cool graphic.
It is concept art or screenshot from the Rogue Trader game.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Let's see here. I'll put Lady Ash over here with you just so we can see that sign. I think that sign's pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Amasek is the in-universe go-to drink, right? So you are the Adeptus Amasecus. Masters of booze. So you can picture there's the... Oh, you will need to make your way over there, too, because that is in the other... let's go back to Footfall for a second here, guys. So you may recall the Shadow Quarters and then to the Martyr's Endurance. The Martyr's Endurance is where the Adeptus Amasecus is located. You're going from the Martyr's Probati over to docking with Shadow Quarters, I suppose, and then into the Martyr's Endurance. Shadow Quarters is that sketchy area, guys. Are you planning on trying to keep a low profile here, or are you trying to...
I don't think so. I was just about to say, I think we'll probably bring our usual, my usual retinue.
Your retinue will stand out very, very significantly in the Shadow Quarters and in the Adeptus Amasecus. Remember, this is scum and villainy. It's like walking into the Mos Eisley Cantina with a retinue of guards. You certainly could do that, but you're not doing anything inconspicuous, and everybody will know that you're there and that you have money. So definitely something you can do. Question of whether you should is for you to decide.
You know what they say about discretion and valor, Lord Captain?
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so just the 4 of us with the Psyker.
And concealing yourself otherwise, or are you...
I don't know. What's everyone think?
Yes.
Well, we do have enemies here, Captain.
We don't want L to get a free shot at you while we're wandering around.
We don't have to be cowards or anything, but there's no point in flaunting our movements.
Okay. So kind of like just plain robes. I mean, our usual way of going, but just with robes and hoods. Would that be the?
Yeah.
Cloak and bolter.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And a cloak and dagger.
Yeah.
So who would like to take the... Well, let's hear your best skill or best roller take the lead for stealth, and this will be an easy task. The chances of someone having an eye out for you for this and catching you is quite low, but it's not nothing in the Shadow Quarters. So, who's feeling the most stealthy?
This is our stealth.
My silent move is 48.
Oh yeah, it's not stealth. Hold on, it is.
Or
mine is a 50.
Concealment tests?
I think concealment.
Concealment sounds like hiding, but
if you float over it,
Silent move sounds kind of... Yeah, the floaty, right.
Floating eye.
No, it's
What's shadowing? I see that's a skill.
yeah. I think it's silent move.
Silent move.
Use the silent move skill anytime silence and secrecy is essential in the explorer's activities. The GM sets the difficulty of the test depending on the movement or on the environment. Where the echoing steel halls of Cargo Bay.
And it's an opposed test against the opponent's awareness or scrutiny skill.
Yeah. So,
right, so that's just opposed to like by whoever's looking for us.
Yep. Yeah. And you guys will make it at. So the chameleon line, it is good, but it's not going to benefit everybody.
Right.
So that's in this case, someone is taking the lead, but they're doing it in the benefit of everybody, and that won't help everybody.
Yeah. That's fair.
So whenever you're ready, if you're taking the lead, it's an easy test plus 30, 3-0.
I only have a 40 in silent move. I don't know how about you guys.
48.
5-0 on silent move.
Oh, Alessander. Nose is ahead.
Alessander, there you go. Give us your roll at plus 30, 3-0.
Lead the way, sir.
Amazing. I will use another fate point.
You got it.
Because I don't want to fail the captain by...
That would be embarrassing.
It would be embarrassing.
Wow, there you go.
Nice.
All right, then, since you were taking the lead on that, either Godwin or Lord Captain Aquare, would you give us an awareness check, please?
Guessing your awareness is probably pretty good.
I'm 54.
Yeah, you're almost 10 up on me.
And let me put this out here. Let's see. I think I got a little something. Just let's see. Hang on.
Oh, you got that thing that allows you to give a bonus to your crewmates, don't you?
I've got a little paranoia action just for if anything pops on that.
Yeah. Plus 2 to initiative, and I may secretly test your perception. You know, it's an awesome word. May. Okay.
See, because it's trusting you, Kevin. It's trusting you.
You know what that is? That is for the GM who's like, when the player's like, well, why didn't you make I should have been able to. No. May. Not shall.
That's for the lawyer's game. When the lawyers play around
100%. It may not surprise you that the weasel word is the one that jumps out at me in this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's see.
Well, I had a half-hour conversation today with a junior lawyer who's in her office now, and not an insignificant amount of that involved like using specific words instead of other words because of connotations that are associated with it. So, which is a long way of saying I genuinely cannot help myself.
Sure. Yep. I should keep my eye on, of course, the thing that I always
That's what
forget.
I was thinking of. Yeah. When
it's due, when it's appropriate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that's almost like, I mean, obviously if it's per round, it's in combat, but I think like in any circumstance, I'm okay with you applying that. That's how we've applied it in past. With the lower like default skills and the smaller steps up for positive modifiers, I think the plus 10 is one of those things that's supposed to be a baked-in regular benefit for whatever the group is working towards.
Yeah.
So what? Let's do this, guys. Here, guys, I've got a sheet. I keep slowly ending processes in the task manager and kind of crossing my fingers that it's not going to crash the computer.
Yeah. What's the difficulty on the awareness test?
The awareness test will be, I think, challenging because it's contested.
Okay.
Does it go by adjective or does it go by number?
I think it goes by number, but I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Challenging is 0, though.
Yeah.
So,
I'm down.
Okay. Look at that. All right. So, Lord Captain, as you guys are making your way through, this is sort of, it's busier than what we see in this illustration here, but this is sort of making your way through the Shadow Quarters. The Shadow Quarters, as opposed to Alpha, what is it? Space Dock Alpha Row or something like that? Is that what it's called? Space Dock Alpha Row? Void Dock Alpha Row. Making your way through Void Dock Alpha Row, you guys would be seeing a bustling hive. That's that one illustration we looked at before of the Void Docks. Where the heck is it? With the loaders. We were looking at it last time. Yeah, this thing here. Look at that, guys.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
So that's Void Dock Alpha Row is very much like that. When you are in... I'm grabbing the wrong thing here. When you're in the Liege's quarters, that's where it's got that really fancy kind of quality to it, and that's where some of your Aquari headquarters is located, because Ignatius decided to set something up quite fancy for you guys. But in the Shadow Quarters, this is on your way towards that docked ship. It is scum and villainy in here. So this is one stretch of the area you would have. There won't be giant chaos banners hanging from the thing. Although it's kind of funny to think of, like, it's cool having these accoutrements in these kind of settings, but like, what chaos cult is sitting there and like organizing the people who are making the banners?
Yep.
Like, man, I can't wait to serve the ruinous powers. Your job is going to be making a series of identical banners, and we are going to need about 400 of them. So I hope you have your chaos infused printing kit with you.
Right.
So,
Yep.
But the as you're making your way through here, what you notice, Lord Captain, is that there's a couple people who are drawing, who are paying attention to you guys as you're making your way through. Much as you try and hide it, you cannot help. One of standing such as yours, it's difficult to conceal swagger, even under a hood. Alessander is doing an admirable job of keeping you all hidden, but you happen to notice that there was someone who seemed to have... They seem to have been waiting for you when you arrived. So your ship, like, you can conceal yourselves, but the shuttle going from the Mortis Probati to here, that is something you cannot. Someone seems to be pursuing you, and the curious thing is, they're wearing Xenos armor underneath heavy robes. And you need not make any other roll for it, because the distinctive kind of teardrop shape of their helmet, an Eldar power armor, or an Eldar figure when you see one. They very quickly lose you, but it seems the way that they sort of are looking around trying to find you once again, they do not seem to... It seems quite clear who they were watching when you guys arrived here. The final thing I'll tell you is you have heard that at least one Corsair from the Twilight Swords came to your house's aid on Hephaestium's Rest. The markings or the colors on this Eldar are not the same as the Twilight Swords, so it is some other faction of the Eldar. Now, it'll take you probably 45 minutes to navigate your way through the Shadow Quarter before you get to the docked ship and then onto the Hephaestium's Rest. Do you wish to share that with any of your allies?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got time. Then I will... we're going to discuss anyone following us, or... whatnot, so I assume that's going to be a primary subject, and I will tell them the colors seem different.
I think Lady Ash can set up a telepathic link for you guys as well. 'Cause I think she did that for you guys before.
Yeah, I was even it had come to mind to ask you for a refresh on what exactly is her specialty. I can't quite recall.
She's a telepath.
Telepath, right?
Yeah. So, here we go, telepath. Okay, it's a permanent fettered bond. Yeah, mind link. A successful focus power test allows the psyker to create a fettered strength telepathic connection to a number of willing minds up to her willpower bonus at the same time. So she can maintain this and keep all of you connected. The range on it is like several kilometers. So you guys can freely communicate amongst yourselves and Lady Ash.
Yeah, right. Well, we want to follow up on that later. It's possible it has something to do with our ship. That's the low-hanging fruit, I would think. Although, I mean, the ship's been around for a long time, so it's not for sure. It's something, there's not an easy time trigger for that. But maybe they got word or could detect it in some way. So we'll want to keep an eye open for them, and maybe even arrange a meeting with them so they can stop lurking around us.
Well, this is a different. You already have contacts among the Eldar with the Twilight Swords. Whoever this is, they're not with the Twilight Swords. Different coloring.
Right. I mean, maybe we have a meeting with the Twilight Swords and tell them about it and get their take on it, since they're an ally, right? Ally-ish?
They are an ally-ish. They seem to have, one of their numbers showed up without notice and suddenly started fighting alongside your allies when they were in Hephaestion's Rest.
Yep.
It's not...
He had his shuriken gun.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just it would not be an understatement to say that they were... instrumental in your agents surviving that encounter in Hephaestion's Rest.
Yeah. So it's a thought. It's a thought that we have a word with them about this to get their take. It's a thought.
So, and just to remember, as a refresher for Eldar, remember that these are effectively the souls of you. Your characters know these are the souls of the Eldar that would be within there. And they've been known to, to call it overreacting would be a little, they have known to attack entire planets to try and recover similar type things. So it would be a delicate, it's a delicate secret to approach. And who knows how they're going to react. They may view it in some different way, and they are, deeply deeply psychic creatures. Who's to say that if the ship is communicating with you, that it's not also now communicating with Eldar around here?
Yep, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That almost feels like a given.
Yeah, it's even if it's not active communication in the form of talking or telepathy, it could be giving off some kind of a signal or some kind of a aura that they can pick up on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was even thinking of just approaching the Twilight Swords because of us being trailed, by this other faction, and not mentioning the ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of this is in play. All of it is.
Oh, sorry, Sean. I misunderstood what your question, but yeah, that's okay. Absolutely a good stratagem too. If they're allied with you.
Yeah. But I think that would be later. Let us, since they don't seem to be on our tail at the moment, let's keep our eyes open for them. Yeah.
Yeah, which means that the four of you, how do you plan on approaching the Adeptus Masochus? Are you all going into this noisy bar together? Are you going to fan out? Is anyone keeping Overwatch? Lady Ash is happy to hang back, and you will still maintain telepathic connection.
You did that once, Alexander, right? Like an Overwatch guy?
I think you did, actually.
I did?
I think you may have hung back. Or was it Alessandro?
I did as Icarus, maybe, or something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I can't remember if you did. Yeah, it was either you did or like Jeff's character was doing it, and then you came in at that session, and we had you along with him. I can't remember which way that worked.
Because I thought like Jeff shot someone, or at least was a potential sniper in Overwatch in the situation.
Yeah, because you.
That might have been Noros. Yeah.
Yes.
Noros.
Right, because you also spotted and approached the Astral Knife.
So many games, so many Warhammer 40,000 games.
Yes. So many parallel lives.
Didn't Jeff's character also do that in Star Wars?
Seriously. All right. So, so that's fine. Maybe.
Erodian.
Yeah, Lady Ash. Lady Ash maybe can go in first. And
if I had a plasma gun, I could easily take Overwatch, sir. But this pistol is only good close
You
range.
may not. I think they had a presence in American charts too, but there's a Canadian band called the Bare Naked Ladies, and they have a song called "If I Had $1 Million," and I've got that in my head, but with "If I Had a Heavy Plasma Gun."
So Cornelia's going to get that statement and then realize you didn't even get the weapon. Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, basically.
Wait, you didn't even get it? Wait, what? Like
it was kind of like a deposit, a pre-order deposit.
Right there, you go.
Yeah, it was
got a
like a
layaway.
pre-order. Have you heard of a Kickstarter? It's a program.
No, I have not. No. But let's send in Lady Ash, and she can, give her the first look around. Since we have connection, she can give me the green light if it doesn't seem horrendous.
Yep. I mean, it definitely seems horrendous, but it seems as if Captain Jerry is right at home because she's once again playing cards with a bunch of reprobates and seems to be doing quite well based on the looks on the other folks at the table. She would communicate this to you telepathically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will. I'll let a few minutes go by after Lady Ash's entry. Wait for her to give me the 411 that I just got, and then we will proceed in.
Okay. So you make your way in, and again, you see folks, like, it is much busier than you see in the illustration on the bottom there. It seems as if there's a lot of crew from a lot of different ships that are here. You recognize the house colors of a couple of different Rogue Trader crews or the Rogue Trader vessels as you're making your way in. And if you make your way over to where Captain Jerry is playing cards, I think you probably recognize one or two officers on other things that are sitting at the table with her. So it's a high stakes game. I mean, Captain Jerry, not for nothing, won her warrant of trade in this. So she's not a stranger to high stakes gambling.
Indeed.
Are you making any effort to conceal yourself now, Captain Aquari, or are you?
I think I probably still got my hood on. Very basic. I mean, okay. I think as I view it, we're probably normally equipped, but you got the big robe and the thing over the top, and we're looking around, and I'll keep the hood on for now until I get situated at least.
So then, how would you care to draw her attention, if at all?
Maybe I will go to the opposite side of the table and kind of give her the look, kind of push back my hood just a little bit and give her a wink.
Okay. So they're all, and as a reminder here, where's Captain Jerry?
Captain Jerry. Geraldine Jerry Blitz.
I like her eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So she is, I think, smirking and smart-assing with the folks at the table. There's maybe a quarter of the folks sitting at the table that seem to be entertained by her antics. There's a quarter that seem to be focusing on their cards, and then the other half seems to be genuinely pissed off at her general just jibber-jabber from it. And it likely, with a pile of chips in front of her, it also likely has to do with the fact that she is doing quite well in comparison to the mediocre or modest pile of chips in front of the other players. She then notices, I think, you, and there's a flash of kind of like, do I know then?
Oh, that's true. I forgot I didn't know her. I was thinking I was with the other group again before my wink, but I did want to give her a look.
No, I think, but she will. I think it says a lot that she then kind of recognizes, and she cashes out on the hand, and there's kind of like, again, a quarter like, oh, a quarter are like just getting ready to get back in the next game, and half of them are like, oh, thank God. Yeah. So they get up, or she gets up. She sees two. There seems like she's got two pretty birdy-looking fellows who are with her. They take her coins. One of the two with her is, it looks to be with a big red robe on him. It looks to be a explorator or some member of the Adeptus Mechanicus. And she gestures with her head towards the bar.
Yep, and she'll proceed.
She'll head on over there, kind of makes her way in, and the bartender, seems to know precisely who she is. She gestures just with her hands. She looks over at you and holds up.
Yeah.
And as you walk over, she says,
on the way over, are there any other rogue traders that I think are rogue traders in the room, just out of curiosity?
That is a good question.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Let's see here.
I know it's a low-level place, but who knows?
Yeah, and there may be, some may be happy to... Why don't you give us do you have any, rogue trader lore?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and give us a roll with that let's make it plus 10.
Okay.
It's a little large. Plus 20. Routine.
All right.
You want to fate that?
Sure, let's do it. Here it comes.
He's got a pretty good chance.
Doggone it.
If there are in here, it's tough to tell. In part, your robe is kind of restricting your range of sight.
They could be doing what I'm doing. All those people in robes in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no shortage of cutthroats and whatnot around here as well.
Yeah.
So if you make your way over to her, you're kind of looking around. When you finally look over at her, she smiles at you and says, "Lord Captain?"
"Indeed, Quinilly, please." And I hold out my hand.
She holds hers out. "Geraldine Blitz, Lord Captain. You can call me Jerry, though. My friends all do."
Thank you, Jerry. I've heard good things.
"And I have you, Captain. Congratulations on a successful return. I know that I've come to know both Ignatius, Lord Ignatius, and Lady Octavia in your absence. They have done you proud here."
It's good to hear. That's what my understanding as well, but I don't mind hearing that from another Lord Captain.
Indeed. And you've come to make your introduction. I appreciate it. I did not know. Could it be? Are you a card player?
Don't think I am. Let's see. Is there a skill? Is there a gamble?
Gambling?
Oh, there is a gamble skill.
Is there?
There is.
Yeah. How good or bad at it are you?
42. It's not it's not terrible. Let's see.
Is that a basic?
42 is basic, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to put it in my strongest skill is 68, and I'm a 42 in this. So it's clearly, it's not top notch. I think I'm not terrible, but I'm not in her class. I'll play. If there's an event and someone goes, "Hey, you want to play?"
You're the guy who sits with the list of hands next to you.
No.
I speak from experience. I am that dude. So.
I say, casually only. I'm sure you could teach me much in that regard.
Those are steep lessons to learn, Lord Captain.
That's what
Steep
I've heard.
and expensive.
That's what I've heard. But yes, I did want to come down and make your acquaintance and
Well, then
thank
this
you
is
for your
something
assistance.
to celebrate then. And the drinks are probably brought by this time. He hands them out. Alessander and Godwin, are you accompanying the Lord Captain?
Yeah, I would be hanging back a little bit, but keeping my eye on the captain and everybody here, sort of
Yeah.
eye on the bar.
I would suggest too that, especially since we have the telepathic connection, and we have the psyker specifically tasked with keeping an eye. Feel free, if you're any good. Maybe we'd possibly chatted about this on the way over. That if you're any good at, I think it's in. I'm gonna guess it's inquiry.
I'm actually good at gambling. I could go gamble.
Here comes Alessander. Oh, is this the guy with the statement we're going to get later? And now gambling? Really?
So inquiry is effectively the gather information skill.
Yeah. So if anyone's good at that and feels like it, whatever.
It does take an hour to use it, though.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Sean. I meant it in the context of the D&D 3.5. Gather information is your genuine, I'm going to go around town, spread some coin, buy some drinks, and see what's what. That seems to be what inquiry is here. It says skill use is
the bar,
1 hour or more.
Yeah, but you can carouse and play games and talk for an hour, can't you?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think it's a problem.
I've seen you talk for longer about nothing. I mean,
My point being, guys, is that it's probably not what's used to talk to her.
Oh, no.
Inquiry is what...
He's talking to her.
Right.
I can make my way. Godwin can make his way around the bar.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Or leave the bar and hit the street up and.
Love it. Okay, so for dealing with her,
get your charm.
Is it charm? Yeah, charm.
Be charm. Mm-hmm. Quinilly is nothing if not charming.
There we
Alessander, do you have inquiry?
Well, no, I don't have good inquiry, but when I suggested gambling, I just meant more that I might hear something at the table about Jerry Blitz while I'm sitting there.
Oh,
okay.
Well, that's a good
nice.
idea.
It's a good thought. Yeah.
So why don't you give us? Let's start with that then, to give a modifier to Captain Aquatic, because you can feed this all telepathically with Lady Ash's help, right? So
right.
Why don't you give us your gambling check? I'll make a check for the degenerates at the table. Let me just grab a score for them. Go.
What? Oh, there we go.
Let's see.
Ooh, medium. Ooh. Strong medium.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see. Where are we here? Scum. That's what I'm looking for.
Scum and villainy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is the kind of hive I like.
Okay. Check here. Okay. So, Lord Captain, you hear, I think Alessander overhears enough stuff to grant you a +10 on your charm check, to give a context of what other folks have heard or have said about her. So if you do want to join her for a drink, she'll bring you over to an overturned, in place of the bit longer tables that are there are also overturned kind of oil barrels type thing. The kind of things that movie, hobos all cluster around when they're on fire. That turned over with a kind of a table on top. I think I've just described D Machine, Jeff, effectively. So the bar that we went to in our 20s. But that is where you she brings you over. It's a place where you can lean in and talk to one another.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yep. So she asked you, well, here, why don't we do this? Why don't you give us a charm check? It'll be resisted by her willpower. She does like you, though, so you're going to get a +20 in total to your charm.
Okay, and that integrates Alessandra's.
That integrates Alessandra's benefits and your relationship with her as well, too, or your influence with her. Nice. All right. What do you say?
So, Jerry, I've been gone quite some time, obviously. Whatever you heard, whatever positive things you heard about me, they probably did not involve, in this situation, punctualities, because I have been in the warp for far too long. And I cannot help but notice that there seems to be a rogue trader conclave going on. Do you know anything about this? It's crawling with us, practically.
So there is a corner of her mouth that kind of crooks up. And she says, you notice that then? Has anyone else informed you? Or have any of your agents uncovered a reason for so many rogue traders to be in a place at one time?
That is in process as we speak. But I was already actually thinking to come greet you and to thank you for your assistance with Lady Octavia? Lady Octavia, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. With Lady Octavia. So I thought, why not ask Lord Captain Blitz? And so here I am. So you would, my ears are fresh. They are virgin on this matter. If you care to share of your thoughts on what's going on.
And she leans in and she says, I trust that Lady Octavia has expressed to you, or to Ignatius and then to you, my desire of being friendly with House Aquare.
Indeed.
House Blitz, such as it is in need of allies in this region, particularly when dealing with such bitches as Armelan.
Well, you don't get along with House Armelon, then, I take it?
I think she feels the circumstances of my elevation to Lord Captain are not warranted.
I see. I
think that House Armelon barely has a pot to piss in, and is in no place to judge the positions of others, particularly those with more coffers and more resources to draw on.
Yes, one needs to know one's own context, to be sure. I will tell you, I've recently met Madam, and I take a sip of my drink.
Charlebelle.
Charlebelle, finishing my drink. Madam, I've recently met Madam Charlebelle, I will tell you, and
are her halls of her ship as empty as they say?
I really don't know if she'd we just met. I doubt she would do everything in her power to show as little weakness as possible. It wasn't specifically obvious, but I wouldn't expect it to be if she had any ability to keep that behind closed doors.
Indeed.
But in any case, so what is going on? What is with this meeting? Is it doesn't happen that often? Not this many, I wouldn't say.
Then, I suppose, Lord Captain, you're new to the Coronis Expanse as well, are you not?
Yes, fairly new. Still.
Then I take it that you've not heard of the 7 witches of Footfall.
That does not ring a bell.
Her eyes kind of gleam. Well then, the 7 witches, so it's said, they are, so rumors go, outcasts of the monastery at Hephaestium's Rest. I take it that you are familiar with the activities there, crafting those tarot talisman that the psychers use. Psychers, as I understand it, make use of those to foretell and to gain glimpses of the future. What's said that the 7 witches were gifted such mad insight that the accuracy of their foretellings are beyond any or equal to anywhere else in the Imperium. I take it you have not heard then that it has been spread among certain circles that the 7 witches of Footfall will be providing a reading.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Why?
In particular, it seems they have arranged with the Obsidian Emporial to arrange an auction for those who wish to attend the reading. That is the value placed on their foretelling and what will come from it. Whatever their foretelling speaks to, it can only lead to great riches. I've heard it said that each of the prior foretellings has likewise led to incalculable wealth. But one needs to not only win at auction for one of the coveted 10 spots, one also needs to know where the auction is and when.
And being one of the 10 auction winners does not provide that information.
If you know where the auction is, and if you win one of the 10 spots, you are granted access to the foretelling. You'll be in the winners will have an audience with the 7 witches when the foretelling occurs.
And one has to find out the information independently then of where it is, though. Apparently.
The auction?
Yeah, no, the foretelling.
You cannot gain access to the foretelling without winning the auction, and you cannot win the auction without knowing where the auction is.
I see.
You seem concerned, Lord Captain.
No, just calculating. Where and when is the auction? Do we know this?
Some of we do. Such information, Lord Captain, is quite valuable. You'd agree?
If one was going to be bidding, I would think so.
And any captain new to the Coronis Expanse looking to make his, her, or their mark, I don't doubt would value that information greatly.
So are you going to be bidding, Jerry?
She winks. Most definitely. And winning. What about you, Quinelli?
Well, it is the first I've heard of it, but I would think so. I would think so.
Then, Quinelli, you must have good friends who would tell you where the auction was located.
I suppose I would.
I hear you are one to value friendship.
Of course. Friendship has its benefits.
I would agree. And it is in light of that friendship, I'll tell you. 12 days from now, I will send you a location for the auction. And we will attend. And we will find our place among the 10. And whatever fortune is revealed, we will pursue it together.
All right. Sounds sporting.
She sticks her hand out to shake your hand.
I will shake it.
So she shakes your hand, and Lady Ash, let me go a quick roll for her. I wonder if she's heard of the 7 witches. 17. She has. What she says to you is everything she has said. They say it is true. If she has access to this, the foretelling of the witches would be... There is no other reason to bring 9 rogue traders together. They and others will wish access to this. So, Jerry says, then, we have an accord, and you have work to do, Quinelli. You will need to decide what to put up as payment at auction.
What, do you have any insight into what is expected? Like, what would be the expectation?
The expectation is... So I'm trying to see if there is specific phrasing.
42 profit factor.
It should be inventive and valuable. And something unique.
Well, our chef, our...
That Aquila that we got.
Oh, that too.
That's a huge... Something that shows all the places where the righteous path has gone. That would be of interest to the Obsidian Imperial.
We download that data first and make a copy of it so we're not out the info. That's what's...
Unfortunately, unless you have a comparable Nemolith in order to transit that to, and you want to burn out a bunch of psychers, kind of need to access it. But the that is what Jerry says to for if you ask what to bid. Have you any other questions for her? She really wanted to string you out about this auction thing to put you in a position where she could get something out of you. After that, she's back to being friendly Jerry again. So if you have any other questions, she's going to be much more forthcoming with information.
So I was traversing along Footfall in a shuttle, and we became aware that we were being passively targeted by Footfall's defenses, one of the guns.
She kind of scoffs. The Administratum. The AOI. Extortionists. Scum who have managed to take control over some of the batteries protecting Footfall. If you have not heard from them yet, you will soon, and they will try to extort some payment from you.
You've heard from them yourself?
Oh, indeed. And they have demanded payment from me, and I have paid. I've heard they've opened fire on ships that refuse to pay. Not enough to destroy them, mind. Enough to impact the bottom line. They know,
What?
or at least they have the good sense to know how much they can extort before encouraging a response. They also seem to target those without powerful friends. Now, have they approached you yet? Or simply warned?
Not yet.
It seems your name may be preceding you then. Or at least the Aquare name. They've not approached you yet. I think they are getting a measure of your strength.
Maybe perhaps I'll have to consider whether a move that precedes theirs would be helpful.
I have heard as well that they can be incentivized to make life challenging for those who are for the enemies of others. I understand that your house and that of House Fell remain at odds.
Indeed.
If Fell has not approached them, you may wish to consider approaching them to cause further challenge. I don't doubt that House Fell and Lord Captain Haderach will be among those bidding for the 10 spots among the 10. That bitch will be as well.
What do you think? Do you think she's...
Her house is in shambles. I think this is an opportunity for her to try and piece some semblance of respectability back together. Worry not, Quinelli. Between the two of us, we'll steal whatever it is out from under her.
Very good. Well, I will... Good to know about the AOI.
Indeed.
And trying to think if there's anything else.
You guys have the telepathic connection too, so if there's anything you wish to remind the Lord Captain of, you're free to do so.
Did you have anyone have anything else?
Well,
about like plasma pistols or any.
Oh, I mean, Captain, if you're not too proud to ask her for.
I don't think I do. I even know. I mean, I'm really,
weapons? No.
I'm really saying it kind of out of character because I don't think I know.
No, I don't think
the statement hasn't come to the ship yet. So
what does she trade? What does she trade in?
I don't.
It's sort of catch-all.
Okay.
Yeah, she sort of is trying to build a new, dynasty as it is.
Yeah.
She
has been here longer than us, but I don't think that Alessandra would actually bring it up, to be fair. He's not quick to point that out to the Lord Captain right now.
Yeah. She is... it seems like, as is the most, it's the most profitable enterprise in the Cronus Expanse. It's not surprising she's trying to get in with the cold trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's very much a kind of a privateer at this point. Not privateer, but she's very much a what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of like a free trader. She's taking whatever opportunity she can that isn't like specifically trying to build up colonies or whatever else. But
yeah.
So, any other questions for Jerry before she goes back to her card game?
I don't think so. So I look forward to hearing from you.
And you. Think hard on what to bid. We want to ensure 2 of the 10 spots are ours.
Indeed. What had you planned on bidding?
She looks at you, smiles. Now, Quinelly, we're friends, but not that good.
Well, good luck in your continued fortunes tonight.
And to you. Much profits. Say hello to Ignatius and Octavia for me.
I most certainly will.
And she returns to the table, to the happiness of a quarter, and to the detriment, or to the lament of half. Sorry, what were you going to say, Alessandra?
I was just going to say, probably knowing she's returning to the table because of our psychic link, I would get up to sort of make sure the seat is returned to her.
Okay. All right. Godwin, you said you wish to ask around.
Inquiry.
Yeah. And is there anything you are specifically looking for?
Well, when Godwin started this, we didn't know what was going on. So, I don't know. I guess at some point would Lady Ash have directed the information, like, oh, this is what Quinelli is learning, or is it?
Is there other stuff you'd wish to know? I don't think you learned about this until later on, and do you?
No, I think he's just going to try and get a lowdown on what's happening in the in Footfall.
Okay. So go ahead and give us a... Hold on. Actually, there's investigations here. I forgot. They've got the mini game or the skill challenge kind of function right in the core book. I forgot about that. I like that. Hey, guys, I found the corruption chapter. Don't worry.
Sweet. Can I get the extra corruption points? That's good.
Yeah. Most definitely. Here we go. Investigation skills. All right. What is it you're looking for? Just this general kind of scuttlebutt, or?
Well, information about rogue traders in Footfall.
Yes. Okay. So why don't we, in this place, in this bar, that'll get you a plus 20. plus 30. Local gossip, and it's specifically about the rogue traders. And you can spend, look at that, 5 degrees success. That's fucking awesome.
Ooh. Nothing like a little coin and liquor in a barrel to get people talking about something.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So let's talk about... Okay, so the two... I'm assuming you...
I don't know if he could find out anything else about House Armalon that he was... He would probably have been asking about them.
So
and
what you...
Even Jerry's house.
Jerry's, okay. So what you do find about what the scuttlebutt is about Jerry is that she was actually, she may have been involved in the cold trade in the Calixis sector or beyond, like the other side of the Maw, before she came here. And it's in the course of this like Xenos object trade that she got the warrant of trade. So she may actually know a fair bit more about the particulars of the cold trade than what she's letting on. This isn't someone who's coming in, stumbling into a new area. She may have a great deal of experience with that kind of trade in Xenos artifacts. She also seems to have her inner circle and her like bridge crew are all folks who knew her from her previous life. So it's like a band of adventurers almost who have fallen into owning the Ordained Destiny, her ship. And you've heard that the way that she won the warrant of trade was through basically losing everything in that hand. Like, she either has an extraordinary high tolerance for luck, or she completely bamboozled a sector lord. Because it seemed as if she was going to lose everything, all of her fortune built over the cold trade in that hand of cards, and she came out on top and won. Whether that means she's just very fortunate or she played that guy for one of the most valuable assets he could have, who knows? So that's what you hear about her. You actually also hear about another Lord Captain. His name is Lord Kraken Feckward. I'll put that in chat. Lord Captain.
Ooh, underworld contacts?
Kraken Feckward. Yes, he is an infamous... he has infamous contacts with the criminals of the Coronis Expanse and the Calixis sector. He is also a notorious slave trader. He is a
bad dude.
Very bad dude, and it seems as if the rumors are that Feckward is here to make some kind of purchase because he has brought a ship with tens of thousands of slaves aboard.
Interesting.
You also know that Feckward, or here at least, Feckward is one of the types who is happy to kill in order to get what he wants. Many of the necro gangs and the other mutants and so forth that make up Footfall, Many of them have had thrones, slipped into their palms in order to deal with the enemies of Feckward. And allow me to show you a picture of Lord Captain Kraken. And yes, much of his face has been converted to augmatics. That's the rumors you pick up.
I think Godwin is initially impressed by underworld contacts, and then he heard slave trader, and he literally felt his face changing, and he was trying to hide it because that's beneath.
You're learning of the 10,000 or tens of thousands of slaves that he has in his hull right now. That's your 5 degrees of success speaking. The person who shared that with you was very looking over both shoulders, leaning in, and kind of whispering this stuff. That does not seem to be open knowledge. You think this person maybe they're a crew member, maybe they've talked to a crew member or something like that of his ship.
Because that would be because it's valuable, or because
it's hugely valuable.
Yeah.
They didn't know what he was purchasing, but they think that he's here to turn over to make some big transaction.
Oh, that's interesting.
Can you think of any big transactions that rogue traders may be engaging in the near future?
Yeah, I'll find out from Lord Captain Aquari shortly that apparently something that valuable might go to the witches.
Technically, it would go to the Obsidian Emporial.
Yeah. What would that would make them crazy wealthy. 10,000. Oh, okay. So Godwin will circle back with the group later on, and he will inform Alessander, Lady Ash, Lord Captain Aquari. I think he'll do it all telepathically, though. This is not something he wants to speak aloud about.
Okay.
Keep it between us. But it's like tens of thousands of slaves, Lord Captain. If we offer the Aquila, we offer potential wealth. But tens of thousands of slaves is wealth here and now.
It's interesting information to have. I don't know at the moment what else we'd offer besides the ship. I mean, we have, which I am loath to consider, of course.
If you give up the ship, you've got nowhere to go. That's just. Right. I don't think that's something you could contemplate giving up as things, because you would be. Without the ship, you're not a rogue trader anymore.
You can't follow your dreams.
Yeah. We don't really have any other assets.
The Aquila that Godwin suggested, you guys may think of some other stuff as well, or acquire stuff in the 2 weeks between now and then. Yeah. The Aquila, that's not... One way to think of it is, remember in the game, they use profit factor supposed to sort of represent your resources and assets. That's potential resources as well as capital. Or at least disposable capital. Yeah, giving up 10,000 slaves is a big capital expenditure, but once that's gone, that's gone. You've either got those people, you make use of them until they whatever. The detailed information about the mysteries of the Cronus Expanse, the places where the Righteous Path has gone, there is not something comparable to what that's got, because Captain Aquare's, or Lord Captain Aquare's ancestor navigated these realms and those areas before any of these people got here. Remember, that's centuries old information. So the value that would come from that, it would be hard to find an equal to it.
And would we actually have to part from it? Or would we be able to just give them access or something?
No. I mean, you could try and give them access, but like, do you think that's something unique and as persuasive? Saying you can look at my resources, unfortunately, the bid needs to be, it sounds like something that is really going to knock their socks off.
We'll give you a PDF of the...
Exactly.
Well, no, but like God was like, well, he's circumspect of the hocus pocus. We're going to make you rich. I'm like, he's like, we got the means of getting rich right here. We just need to find a way to crack it so we can.
If you ask around, there's no question that the foretelling is going to make anything that you could learn from this thing pale in comparison. The expectation, let me put it this way. Do you think that this many other rogue trader houses would give up so much in order to attend it if it wasn't that valuable?
Probably not. You would be giving up tens of thousands of slaves.
I mean, you can come up with other stuff too. You can also spend, what it's going to come down to is a profit. I think it's a profit factor roll that you end up doing. And just like when you're making other purchases, you can just blow profit factor as much or as little as you want in order to up the chances.
What about this Eldar part of our ship?
Maybe we can get something from the Eldar for that.
And what if I mean, if it's able to be separated, I suppose the problem is can it be separated from the ship?
Right. Of course, yes.
I mean, it survived getting fused with your ship, so possibly.
Well, or we can barter with the Eldar themselves to do something with it that would gain us some more profit factor to use to spend on the switches.
We got to move quick then. We only have weeks.
Yeah. I don't know.
Perhaps we can get Archon. Would the Corsairs know a world? It's a totally different faction of Eldar, isn't it?
What is?
Like the trade world or whatever version.
The craft worlds, yeah. The craft. Well, so the major factions among the Eldar are that the humans are aware of is craft world, the Corsairs, the Dark Eldar, the Harlequins, and then there are the outcasts, the ones who live on planets.
Yeah.
So of those five, the Corsairs, some are said to have connections with craft worlds. Some are said to have connections with the I can't remember the Eldar name for it, but the ones who live on worlds as well. And some are said to have connections with the Dark Eldar. So the Corsairs are sort of the most nebulous, or at least the most transitory of the Eldar. Of those ones, if there's Wraithbone that's been part of your hull as well as Spirit Stones, it's definitely 100% not the Dark Eldar. They don't make use of that kind of technology. They have a different relationship with their souls and with what happens in the afterlife. It is the craft world, the Corsairs, the Harlequins, although the Harlequins are very, very mysterious, or the landed ones, whatever they're called.
So maybe it's an opportunity to Alessander's idea. Maybe we reach out to Archon and see if his Corsair group would like to investigate even. And so if we're willing to part with it, and it's that important to them, they'll hopefully either get profit factor or different ship, or who knows.
Remember that one of the reasons that we weren't just going out, the Wraithbone stuff is a not insignificant part of your ship, unfortunately. Yeah. Because it's part of the Space Hulk. It's possible to get it out, but it's going to be weeks and weeks of like tearing docks out and whatever else. Partial withdrawal or time, withdrawal over time may be certainly possible. The people who would be of particular interest, just given your roles from before, the craft worlds. Craft worlds are the places where they keep these spirit stones. You've also heard that they use those spirit stones to place them into like advanced kind of like ghost robots. There are creatures and beings who walk around looking like Eldar in armor, but they happen to be a spirit stone that's embedded in them. Yeah, the dead quite literally walk among the Eldar.
Perhaps the Corsairs can at least facilitate this sort of a conversation.
Yeah. There's at least one craft world in the Coronis Expanse that you're aware of.
What say you, Lord Captain?
It seems complex for the time we have available. If it was going to be part of the auction, a function to connect these two things, it seems the time frame seems a bit small.
Yes.
True. Fair. But we also notice that the ship might be attracting attention anyways. If we don't engage the Eldar now, even to at least get conversation started, they might seek us out and wonder why we've been keeping this to ourselves.
I mean, I think everything we discussed, even that we discussed prior to learning of the auction, still remains true. So, as we said then, and as you say now, I think that finding out why they're following us, at the very least, as much as we're able, I think makes sense. I'm just not sure of connecting it. I mean, so following up on that, I think makes sense. Both why we're being followed and or our ship.
If you share the coloring of the armor that you saw, Lord Captain, it is likely that one of your allies, if you guys don't know what that, what faction that might belong to, the Twilight Swords most likely could tell you who they are.
We could find out who was following us at least.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think following up on it makes a lot of sense. Just a matter of whether connecting it to the auction is the question.
I don't think that's necessary, but I think the timeliness of it is starting to increase in urgency.
It was just a thought if you didn't want to give up, your heritage item of extreme value.
The Aquila.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we. It could be something that we can reconsider after meeting with the Twilight Swords, perhaps.
Okay. I'll arrange for a meeting then.
That sounds good.
Anything else you guys wish to do in the Adeptus Masochus while you were here?
Get back to our ship safely.
Don't think so. So we learned about the Seven Witches, their auction, the Kraken Feckward. We learned about more information about the Administratum OAI anyway.
That's why I landed. I'm like the Administratum Economical, and I can't remember what the I was. Imperialis.
Imperialis, yeah. Economica. Administratum Economica. Yeah, it's the O at the beginning that trips me up.
I generally don't know if it's Oikonomica or it's Economica. I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced.
Ignore it. It's just best to ignore it. Say it fast.
Exactly. Nixon, necktie. I knew it was an N-word.
Administratum Economica Imperialis.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, okay. So those three, we learned about those three things. I think we're covered.
Okay. Then, if you guys wish to make your way back to the docks in the Shadow Quarter, make your way from the Martyr's Endurance through the Shadow Quarters back to your vessel. You rolled quite well on that stealth roll before, so I'm not going to make you roll again. And as you're taking your... where are you heading, I guess? Back to the Atrium? Back to the Mortis Probati? What do you think?
Thoughts? We want to arrange a meeting with the Twilight Swords. What else? What other tasks do we have in the next week?
Excuse me. Maybe we need to get Alessandra a new gun.
A second week if you're drawing on... not for nothing. I mean, he may not want to help you, but you could try reaching out to Croc and Feckward. Does not seem like the nicest person to deal with. But you can also reach out to Jerry. You have not tried to make a purchase through Jerry. I think that's a good enough change of circumstances that you could try again, Alessander.
Yeah, I think we could do that.
I don't know why the profit factor keeps getting smaller, guys, but...
turn the life support systems off on the slave ship so he has no one to barter with?
Jesus Christ. Maybe I thought throwing the lake was the most dark thing that you came up with, Damon. Murdering 20,000 slaves is really very 40K.
Well, I think my character would do. I wouldn't do that.
No, I know you wouldn't, obviously. It is a surprisingly dark suggestion from you, Davis.
Godwin's like extremely competitive and doesn't want that guy to get ahead.
It would definitely, yeah.
It's a large sacrifice to make sure that a bad person doesn't become even more powerful.
Where's that corruption table I had again?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Just be quiet now.
Then what would you like to do next then? Do you want to do that acquisition test and then do the role playing with the Twilight Swords?
Yeah, let's do the roll real quick. Yeah.
Okay. And if you want in the interim too to ask, someone could give us another inquiry check to see if you can get the coloring that Captain Aquare saw on that Eldar who was trying to unsuccessfully follow you guys.
You or me, Godwin. Whatever you'd like.
Go ahead. I'm going to help Alessandro with his commerce while you're
Yeah, you should
engaged.
make your
We're going to do some shopping while you're out gathering information.
Shopping.
Profit factor.
So would you like to give us your challenging commerce roll first there, Godwin?
Challenging? So that is 0?
0, correct, yeah.
3 degrees of success.
Nice! That's +6 to your roll so far.
Sorry, you could probably add a point to get 10% bonus.
Well, I think I'll spend my fate point.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what did I? Sorry, what was the total for you?
Plus
That
6.
was plus 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Okay,
think you're rolling profit factor plus 6 total, right?
Yeah. So that would have been. It's 36 is the total attempt number. I don't have the extra plus 10 previous.
Wait, is it down to 30 now?
No, it's 40. I'm assuming it's the same penalties and stuff from before.
Right. Wasn't it
Like,
minus?
It was minus 20 for it being very rare.
Oh,
It
right.
was plus 30 because I only want one.
Yeah.
And then it was minus another 30 because it was
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. Yep. Okay.
I want the good one, which puts it at 24%. Or sorry, 26%.
Yeah.
And then plus 10% for my
Your fate point.
is 36% chance. So here we go. Just got to put in a 0 and a 0 and a 0 and a minus
Minus 4, I guess.
4. Yeah, minus 4. Come on, done.
Wow. Jeez.
I cannot roll good on these things.
All right. So unfortunately, Jerry's not able to come up with the unique plasma gun
No.
for you either.
She's probably showing me like 3 good ones and a regular one, and no, Jerry.
No, I want the one with the groove right here and the
Yeah.
engraving on top.
Look, I got a picture of it. From,
The servo web.
yeah.
Lord Captain, would you give us an inquiry roll, please? And I think this one, hold on, it will be... I'm going to check my screen. I wonder if the... the investigation modifiers are not on here. It's just combat stuff. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just fine. Here we go. Okay. Oh, for Pete's sake. Investigation skills, and then it references to another place. It doesn't have a reference for investigations, which is on page 264, but you can go to the investigation skills to then get a reference to the investigations table. So that is good. It's like traveling to the warp. It's very thematic. You may think it's a poorly done glossary. It's not, guys. It's like traveling in the warp.
Yeah.
All right, so Captain, I think this is a
We
plus
just get caught
20.
in a cyclical trap in the book then, and we just end the session now?
No, I found the answer. I got out of the warp eventually. It just took
Okay.
me more
Nice.
references than I needed. Plus 20, Captain. And if you could spend 4 fate point to get plus 10 on top of that.
Let's see here. Sure, let's do it. Here we go. There we
4
go.
degrees success. Excellent. All right. So, the... what you've heard is that, or what you find, I guess, first off, is that the markings of the people that you are, the Eldar that you identified as trying to follow you guys, they're from a Corsair band as well called the Crow Spirits. The Crow Spirits are wildly dangerous pirates. They very rarely leave survivors from any human or other non-Eldar that they come upon, who they are able to defeat. And with 4 degrees of success, I will tell you that they are rumored to have a connection with Craft World Keylor. And I'll put that in chat here. Crow Spirits. And Keylor is spelled like that.
Rumored to have a connection with the Keylor.
Craft World Keylor.
And they were following us. That's the colors that match.
That seems to be who was following you. It is the Twilight Swords. Oh, sorry, the Twilight Swords, the Crow Spirits. Twilight Swords are also pretty dangerous pirates as well. But yeah, they are here too. It
Apparently
seems
we have 0 rating with Crow Spirits.
you have a 0 rating with the Crow Spirits, correct? I don't think you were aware of them as of yet.
No, just they were in your list of Eldar from last time, but
Yeah. What I can tell you is it is really unusual for them to be lurking around here. Like anybody on footfall, as long as you're, not interfering with the cold trade, you're free to bring money and spend it and whatnot. But it's weird to have the Crow Spirits here. It's also not clear why they would be interested in you. Do you have any questions for your source there, Captain? I think you rolled pretty well, so you may get other information.
Do the Crow Spirits get along with the Twilight Swords?
They are not adversaries, but they are not allies. It's not unknown for the Eldar to fight amongst themselves, but it's very rare for certainly for Craftworld to go against Craftworld. That's sort of unthinkable. Corsairs against Craftworld, likewise extremely unlikely. Dark Eldar against, I don't think that's as unlikely.
they have to fight everybody else.
Yeah, the Dark Eldar kind of fight everyone, but the two Corsair groups, they don't seem like they don't work in concert. And whereas the Crow Spirits have that rumored association with Craftworld Keylor, the Twilight Swords don't have a similar thing. Like we said, the Corsairs can be allied with a whole bunch of different potential factions. The Eldar also have their own strange religion, blasphemies to the ecclesiarchy, but it's not clear if the Twilight Swords have other allies or masters. It's not clear who they are.
had I ever heard of the Crow Spirits before? Cornelia?
You may have heard of them as far as like just like one of the extremely lethal, extremely dangerous ones. I don't think you'd ever put I don't think you had any training in Forbidden Lore Xenos, so you may have heard of them as like Xenos pirates, but never really. It may be why you didn't recognize the coloring of their the armor as well. But if they're lurking around and following you, it's strange, to say the least. Their modus operandi seems to be to attack and to kill and steal stuff. Like a lot of Eldar, they have their own mysterious goals. You've heard similar stories of the Twilight Swords, though, so why the Twilight Swords are allied with you, but the Crow Spirits are lurking. Maybe they don't mean ill either. Maybe they are looking for something similar to whatever prompted the Twilight Swords to go in, but the Crow Spirits most definitely have a more bloody reputation than what the Twilight Swords do.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds dangerous to be around them.
Yes.
Or against them.
Maybe is there a recommendation of approaching them first? I don't know if the source would. Should I set up a meeting? Is that?
They're probably not. I mean, if you'd asked them before, they would think that they're like the Crow Spirits are not in the habit of meeting with humans. They're in the. If you're meeting with the Crow Spirits, that's because they want to kill you and take your stuff. So the fact that they're here at all is really unusual. The Twilight Swords are much more a known kind of presence on Footfall.
Okay, I can't think of anything else to ask. Anybody?
If you can find the Crow Spirits, you could try reaching out and try contact with them because they're in sort of unprecedented area. But with any of these Xenos, it's always, they are likely playing their own interests, and those can be very mysterious or completely inscrutable.
All right, I will. Sounds good. We'll press on.
Okay. Then we will press on in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks.
So, while everyone gets 150 XP, and I'll bring us back then. You guys have learned of the foretelling of the 7 witches. Guys, we're officially into the lure of the Expanse now. For those listening at home, as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to the Warhammer games we run on the channel, 40K, Fantasy, and Soulbound. There's also a link, and I guess in future Old World, I'm sure we're going to play that on the channel when it comes out. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Now, I have emailed them. I haven't heard back yet, but we're waiting for our updated discount code. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a new a terrific selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they do not have something in stock in their extensive catalog, you can put it on a want list, and when it comes in, they will send you an email, and when you pick it up, when we have our updated discount code, you can enter that code and save yourself 10% in your purchase. Hopefully we'll have that by Monday, or maybe next Wednesday, I guess, will be our next session after the weekend. And Yeah, so if you come back to one of our more recent sessions next Wednesday at the time of recording, hopefully we'll have that discount code available for you then. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, an incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children. And any donations that go through that link go directly to them. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services. And it's a small way of saying thank you. If you've donated $25 or more since January 1st, 2024, then head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel on Sunday, this coming Sunday, and we'll be opening up voting for the next of our charity games. We are running a series of charity mashup games, taking classic modules or campaigns and mashing them up with games that are not intended to be played with. Tomorrow, in fact, we'll be playing a session inspired by the Great Pendragon campaign, originally published for the Pendragon RPG, only we'll be using the Fallout RPG, published by Modifius Entertainment. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart explorers. So, Sean, Jeffrey, and Dave, thank you so much for playing today, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Congratulations on learning of the foretelling. And, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad for, transactions. So, a decent day of commerce. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time in the Coronis Expanse. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our explorers are learning about and preparing to throw themselves into in the Coronis Expanse. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.